pummeled the Phillies in yesterday's series opener thanks to 5 home runs from Seattle, including 3 from Cal Raleigh, who became the first Mariner ever to hit 3 in a game at T-Mobile Park and the first since Edgar to hit 3 at home. George Kirby gets the start for Game 2 tonight at 6:40 p.m. Pre-game show starts at 5:30 right here on Seattle Sports. The Big Ten plans to pass a rule today that will stop NFL players who have NCAA eligibility from returning to college teams, per ESPN. The first player to do so went to the SEC. Tight end Daquan Wright signed back with LSU after being waived by the Browns.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Bump, I hope you're getting your World Series tickets ready because the Mariners are so back.
The 3-1. Swung on, crushed, right field. Has he done it again? It is gone! Cal Raleigh, his first 3-homer game of his career. He crushes a solo blast. It's 9-2 Mariners. Cal Raleigh, a monster night.
Will the Mariners go to the World Series? I don't know. I don't know about that one. Will they make the playoffs? We're still figuring that out. However, is Cal Raleigh back? I think the answer to this is showing signs. And it's not just because of those 3 home runs last night. First time in his career. I can't believe it's the first time in his career considering he had 60 last season. You mean you had 60 home runs without ever hitting 3 in a game?
What a bum.
What a bum. That's unreal. Cut him. But it was great to see. Already up to 17 home runs now. Considering how horrible his season has been, it's been a nightmarish season for him. He might get over 20 home runs. May very well get over 20 or 25 home runs this year. And I think the question of, is Cal back? Power's still there. Squaring it up. Timing looks better.
Well, power never left. I think we've did a couple segments where you talked about how when he does make contact, he's hitting it pretty hard. Just getting unlucky. Is he back? Now I ain't ready to say that, but that's a great indicator. I mean, I think obviously the 3 home runs were impressive to me yesterday, but I heard then Goldie talking about this. His takes, though. You know, he's not swinging out those foolish pitches that he used to swing at. Yep. There was on his 3rd home run, there was one low and outside, and he thought about it. He goes, nah, I'm going to let that chill. I'm going to let that live.
First one right above, elevated fastball.
And bam, he does his thing. So, yes, the 3 home runs is great. Never done it before. He said he's never done it on any level that he's played at. But I was impressed with the power. I was impressed with his takes. And obviously I'm not a swing expert, but it looks smoother and more balanced. Is he back? I'm not ready to say that, but I like where he's going.
I like the hard hit rate increasing for him on all of his batted balls, including some of those outs. He's clearly been squaring it up. Now, the first one, he was kind of underneath it. It didn't matter because he had so much power, 108 off the bat. The second 2 were like textbook. They were perfect. And for that matter, so was his home run against the Cubs. Like just a perfect home run. That's exactly what you want to see from Cal Raleigh. Now, has this season still been disappointing for the Mariners? Sure. But if you were, Bump, to choose, hey, what if I told you that this player is going to get hot? Out of anyone in this lineup, which 2 players would you want to see?
The 2 hit bombs for the first time in the same game in a very long time.
Exactly.
Julio
exactly.
And Cal.
And this was Julio's, a 3-run bomb to give Seattle the early lead.
Runners get their leads. Here's the pitch. Julio swinging a drive. Deep to left field. Going. And the Mariners have the lead. 3-1 over the Phillies. Goodbye, baseball. That was a rocket into the Phillies bullpen. Julio Rodriguez with his 20th home run of the season. And I'm telling you, folks, that was a no-doubter.
Will Julio and Cal hit a home run in every game for the rest of the season? No, of course not. Does this mean that this team is guaranteed a spot in the playoffs? No, of course not. But it is a good sign. And weeks and weeks and weeks ago, Jeff Passan was on with Brock and Salk, and he was saying, at the time, Dom Canzone was getting really hot, and he was like, it's cool to see what Dom's doing this season. Good for him. It does matter, though, where your production comes from. And you really desperately need to see it come from your big hitters. Otherwise, it doesn't matter if you can keep your head above water. You're not getting where you want to go. It matters that Cal and Julio hit home runs last night.
Yeah, and low-key, Josh had 3 hits. Didn't drive in any, but he had 3 hits as well. You got Cole Young, who's shown the power that he's he's jacked onto his body muscle mass this year. It's nice for Canzone and Young and those guys to do their thing, but you need your ballers to ball. And yesterday was fun, man. It was it reminded me of the moments we had a bit more often last year with this team.
Totally.
Where guys were just looking explosive. The exit velo's on point. Logan grinding out 5 innings with 102 pitches, man, with that great lineup that they have over there with Philly. It was good, man. It was probably the most fun I had watching a game in probably a month or so.
I agree. It was certainly that last battle with Luis Arraez between Logan, just all out. Luis Arraez was fouling off pitches where you're just
throwing his hands at the ball.
This is a great pitcher against an elite hitter right now, and who's going to win this one? Logan ended up winning that one, but it was a battle. I think, look, unfortunately for Seattle, there's no bad news here, but unfortunately for Seattle, they didn't make up ground in the AL West because Texas won last night, and it also in dominant fashion, 11-2, and the Astros didn't play. It doesn't matter, though. You need to keep winning. Mm-hmm. And so this was hugely important. What to take from it more than that, I don't know. I don't know yet. All I can say is that they're currently in the toughest part of their schedule, about to round out of it and get into the easiest schedule in all of baseball. And they have a chance to, with a win tonight, get to, I think, 500 on the month so far.
Yeah,
that's
and
huge.
They won 7 of their last 11. You just beat a team that was hot. Phillies won 9 games in a row. That has to do something for your confidence, right? But we know how this goes. We've seen this team pull off a win and then lose big later eventually, right? You beat the Cubs 5-4, and then you lose 19-2. So that's my thing is, all right, how can you follow this performance up? Am I expecting a series sweep? That'd be nice, but we know who the Phillies are and how good they've been playing this year. But let's not digress to 19-2 to 22-0. You know what I mean? Like that needs that's the old you. That's gone. So good win. Main contributors doing their thing. Pitching was on point. Bullpen did their thing. I'm looking for the bounce back now. And
more to do here as well, which Cal Raleigh pointed to after the game.
I think this last month will say a lot about, us as a group and us as a team. I think this is kind of where the boys, are separated from the men. And, I believe in this group. And, despite the struggles, whatever it's been this year, that kind of creates endurance. And from endurance, you get character. And from character, you get hope. And, that's what I see in this group. And, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Kind of having that mentality, and we've endured a lot this year. And
you have to keep grinding. And in any other year, in most other divisions, you would look at being 6 or 7 under 500 this late in the year and go, it's done. You're only 3 back of winning your division. The Astros just fired their GM, and Joe Espada, their manager, is done after this season as well. That doesn't mean that you've somehow earned a spot over them. They are 3 ahead of you, and you lost your lead in the division. But now's your chance to earn it back and fight back from 2 teams that are by no means running away with it.
No, you're in the fight. That's all you want in the day, be in the fight. And style points matter and they don't matter. They matter when it comes to the fan that watches every day, who's investing, who's projecting, and trying to figure out who this team is going to be. You look at the rest of the division and you see just how bad it's been, and the style points can kind of take a hit and change your belief, but you just want a chance, and that's exactly what they've given themselves. And we knew August was going to be tough. I believe they're 10 and 11 or something on the month. You wanted to get out of here at 500, maybe slightly over 500, and you have an opportunity to do that because the road ahead should be easier. Nothing's guaranteed, but you get through this, the road ahead should be easier. And you've almost completed the mission for August. You've almost completed, right? A few more games to go, but I like the position they're in. It
was also very good to see Cole Young get a home run. He's been pretty cold. We were yesterday saying, oh, Dan, come on, give him a day off, please. He could probably use it. I think I had questions about, what's this team going to look like if only Randy's hitting? What's this team going to look like when Cal's having a down year? Oh, and also Cole is getting cold, and Julio is an August Julio, and Brendan Donovan just landed on the concussion list. Entering into this game, I thought, oh my God, you're going against a Phillies team that is wrecking people, has won 9 in a row, doesn't give up in games, came back down 4 in the 9th in their last win. I'm so nervous about this. This doesn't feel good. The vibes are atrocious. and you dominated. This wasn't a close win. This was a comfortable win.
Yeah, and Wheeler ain't no joke neither, man. I mean, for them to have the performance they had against Zach Wheeler, it has to do something for the confidence. They have to, and they're always going to say the right things. Well, I believe in this group, never waver. These are my guys. But everyone in this ball club experienced some type of doubt at some point this year.
Yep.
And if there's anyone or any time for them all to be feeling the same way and being on the same page, it's got to be after a big win like this.
What would it take for you to be more excited about this team?
I mean, if they swept these cats, I'd be really excited about it. I think when and if they regain the lead in the division, then I think.
So right now you're like hesitant. To
it's hard. It's hard for me. I mean, we've done this before, right? We've done it. Like, yeah, that was dope. I was happy. I was hyped last night. But today's another day, and you got to go out there and do it again because y'all just lost 22-0.
So what do they have to prove to you? Let's say before they actually like clinch a playoff spot.
They just got to show some consistency, right? Is Cal back? I don't know. I don't expect him to hit 3 bombs, but let's keep hitting the ball hard. Randy, keep doing your thing. Sprinkle in a little Dom and Cole. Naylor, keep making contact. We still 1 for 5 in runners in score position. Mm-hmm. Granted, you're hitting bombs, so that's going to help you. Bullpen, go out there and close games out the way you're supposed to. It's a great step in the right direction, and I know what a win like this can do for a team. Mm-hmm. It could convince you're something you're probably really not at this moment, but you know what? We got the talent to be that. So yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm not like, yeah, let's go, baby. We back. We going to the ship. But I'm like, all right, I see you. You threw hands with the big dogs. Can you do it again? It's been too recent since you've lost 19-2 and 22-0.
No, quite literally, like just days ago.
Yeah.
Like within the last week, unfortunately. Okay, so if they rattle off a stretch of wins.
Yeah. If they just win this series.
If they win the series or if they sweep the Phillies.
You sweep the Phillies.
You're standing up on Thursday.
I'm really buying some stock. All right, you win the series, I'm reaching into my wallet. To buy into this.
To purchase.
Yes.
Okay, no, I get it. And I don't begrudge anyone for feeling the way you do right now, which was like, no, that was cool. I've been hurt.
Recently.
Like I don't blame anyone for that at all. And this team has been nothing if not Ryan Divish said it yesterday with Brock and Salk, maddening.
Yeah.
And maddening in part because you see what the talent looks like. Like this wasn't just a random 3 runs. This was 3 home runs in the same game from someone who had 60 last season.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't just getting hot for 2 months. Cal basically gave you 10 home runs a month last year.
Yeah.
So it was consistent production from your best home run hitter. Like you want to see the signs and you want to buy in, but you're so nervous. And it's frustrating because you have good players that aren't performing. Almost everyone having career lows in something or other. But here they are on August 25th, 3 games back in the AL West.
Mm-hmm.
Got to take this series against the Phillies. But then you enter into the easiest schedule in all of baseball.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I mean, there's opportunity.
You've got 2 series apiece against the 2 worst teams in baseball.
Yo, I'm looking at the A's twice, square up with the Rangers and see what happens there.
Yeah.
Now nothing's really gain some ground there.
Yeah, nothing's a gimme, but like it is relevant context.
No, you're looking at the schedule and there's opportunity there for sure.
I had someone text that yesterday with like, we haven't earned the right to say something's an easy schedule, and it's like, but it's important context. I'm sorry, but like going on the road to face the Brewers or face the Yankees on the road or coming home to face the Phillies and Cubs, that's objectively harder than facing the Angels and A's.
The odds should be in your favor, should be the key word. But yeah, that's how you look at baseball schedules anyway, or any schedule. We do it with football, basketball. Like you look at, okay, this should be the tough stretch. Mm-hmm. Make it through this. This should be easier. Do what you're supposed to do. That's the way I'm looking at these guys.
From the 949, they're like you. They said Mike Salk said he wants 3 or 4 games in a row before he gets excited again. I'm using that as my hype barometer.
Yeah, I'm with that. I wouldn't take 3 or 4 games in a row. I mean, winning a series 2-1 is fine to me, and win a couple more games. You can be consistent and not win every game. You can be consistent with your bat. You're still hitting the ball hard. Your pitcher is still on point. Sometimes teams are just better than you that day. Like they got some real power over there with Philly, mm-hmm. and the power didn't show up yesterday. Chances are there's going to be some power today. You know what I mean? So I'm with Salk 3 to 4. I don't need to see 3 to 4 wins in a row. I need to see 3 to 4 just competitive games in a row.
Or maybe like 3 series wins in a row.
Yeah, I'll take that too.
Yeah, 2 of 3 against the Cubs. Can you take 2 from Philly?
Mm-hmm.
And can you then take 2 from Toronto? The 2026 NFL season kicks off September 9th at Lumen Field, and we want to send one of you and 3 friends to be there in person to the regular season opener. The defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks open the season against the Patriots in a rematch of Super Bowl 60. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app to find out how you can enter. If you don't already have the app, you can text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. You can also just get it from the App Store. It's free. It's a free app. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, August 31st. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, real
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Mariners are expected to activate J.P. Crawford off the IL tonight. What's the real what's the real headline?
We're so happy to see J.P. back at shortstop. Also, please don't listen back to any of our shows talking about J.P. at shortstop. Couldn't come at a better time, though, really. I mean, having to, unfortunately for Colt Emerson, end his season. Oh, what's this? Another shortstop that you just happen to have ready to go, maybe even tonight? That's pretty massive. Whatever issues you might have with an aging JP defensively, A, he wants to help this team win, is a great teammate, clearly. And B, can play shortstop.
Yeah. JP, welcome back. It's nice to have him. We knew that Colt Emerson is probably going to be, or is going to be, the guy for the future. But if you're not going to have him, young bat who was struggling at times, why not JP? I think he just went yard his last start down wherever he was at. So, yeah, come on, JP. Do your thing.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, when asked Monday about the state of MLB's labor negotiations, Commissioner Rob Manfred said they plan on playing baseball next season. What's the real headline?
He didn't say anything about who would be playing baseball. It could be anyone. Replacement players, owners themselves. No, I actually, we talked with Jesse Rogers about this the other day. We primarily talked about the Mariners with Jesse, but one of the questions that we asked at the very end was, hey, what is but a month? I think that's a good case scenario.
Yeah, if that is true, I'll take a month all day. When it gets deeper than that, then obviously things aren't going well, but it's all a business, and everyone wants to make money. No one's in the business of losing money, so eventually they're going to get things going. And, yeah, Manfred, he said we're going to be playing baseball next year. I was thinking, where? Like Little League? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, like who and where? Where's the baseball
Who
happening?
you calling up? Where are we going to be playing? What's going on?
MLB The Show? Like, what do you mean?
But good. And he's going to say that. Even if he doesn't feel that way, I think he's going to say that. So now that's where we lean on the people who are a bit more connected and who can be a bit more candid, right? Like our guests and guys who come on the show because, they are a little more inside than we do. So let's hope that a month is the max.
Yeah, and I can't stress enough that players, this is exactly the conversation we were having with the last lockout, which is it's not that baseball doesn't have success and that we all don't love baseball, but baseball should be concerned about its popularity and the way people consume it more so than, let's say, the NFL. MLB should be hyper aware of trying to take advantage of the time that they have to be front and center and of the superstars that they have. And taking away a year of Ohtani or Aaron Judge or all your new young stars, that hurts your product.
Yep.
And it's so frustrating to see both owners and the players union be stubborn about things that could be resolved. Like, you know what, players? I do think that there could be a salary cap here that makes sense. You know what, owners? You do need to spend more money and you do need to have a salary floor, and about 15, 16, 17 of you are going to have to start spending more, and I'm very okay with that.
Man, if I'm a player, ain't no way I want a salary cap, though. No way. But there has to be a place where they can meet and say, you give a little bit, I give a little bit. If you think about, which I doubt they're going to consider that much, but if you think about the fans and the people who support you, then you'd be more inclined to do it. But this is when both sides are the most selfish because there's so much to gain and to lose. But there has to be a place where everyone is at least semi-happy.
I would not want my earnings capped if I was a player, and I completely understand. I would entertain giving that up if it meant that more teams overall were spending money. Because then if you're the Reds or if you're Milwaukee or Seattle would also fall into this category of needing to spend some more money. Well, now you're talking about players getting paid and more money to go around. So Yeah, does it keep the biggest superstars in baseball from getting as much money as they possibly can when the Dodgers and Mets are trying to bid for their services? Yeah. But it also keeps a lot of other teams spending when I think they should be. And I think that's the only way that those owners will agree to spend. I don't know. It's frustrating to watch two sides just stubbornly argue over something that's hurting themselves.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, the owner of the Wheat Hill mobile home community in East Palestine, Ohio, says 49ers owner Jed York wasn't arrested inside the trailer park, but merely that's where he was pulled over. What's the real headline?
Even a trailer park is too classy for a $140 night with a prostitute.
Thanks for that technicality. He wasn't necessarily arrested here.
No.
We escorted him off the premises.
Don't besmirch the name of my trailer park.
Excuse us. Yeah, this was just... He might have just been driving through, but he was not coming here for this.
You know what? It probably happens in that community all the time. Someone's been working that community for a long time. Of all places, why that spot? I have so many questions when it comes to this whole situation that I can't even ask on air. But he went about that all right. He has too much money to be getting caught up in that community like that. And good luck to you, brother.
What's crazy is nothing comes from it.
Oh.
There are no consequences to this whatsoever outside of him paying a fine, which was $1,100. Which I don't know. Should there be? I don't know if there should be consequences. I'm not in the job of doling out that discipline, but it is pretty crazy to get caught up in something that mortifying and just be like, well, I guess I'll go to work the next day and
show up. Hey, Martha, how you doing? You have to walk. But you have to move as if nothing is wrong. If you start acting weird, then it's going to be even more weird. So if I were him, I'm having a company meeting. I'm addressing him, getting out in front of it right now and saying, look, this is what happened. I messed up. My bad. Let's move forward. But it's going to be weird in that building.
I just can't get over the trailer park, the mobile home community being like, this wasn't us.
Don't put that on us.
Don't put that on us.
Yeah. This man was moving on his own.
Yeah, he was going somewhere else. We don't know what was happening here, but what a weirdo. All right, we are fairly Mariners heavy to start the show and then switching to the NFL. We do have a segment coming up at 10:45 that I can't wait to talk about, though, which is just the NFL does not know how to talk about a quarterback like Sam Darnold. We'll get to that in about 30 minutes. Coming up next, the Mariners might need to do something you won't be happy about, but it could save their season. That's next.
Lyman and Bob at Seahawks training camp. Afternoons 2 to 7.
Byron Murphy is with us. There's always room for improvement in your game. No matter how good you think you are, even in the run, I know I'm a dominant player in the run. I know I'm a master at it, but it's still always room for improvement, room to keep working, keep getting better. That's my biggest thing, man. I'm trying to get double-digit sacks this year, so this offseason I really focus on pass rush.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, you mind keeping it down up there, please?
KeyBank will meet you in that I need new neighbors moment.
Rick, it's your mortgage loan officer, Beth. I was in the neighborhood and wanted to let you know your home loan application's been approved.
Beth, you're always there for me, and not a moment too soon.
Are your neighbors bowling with grand pianos again?
And apparently raising livestock?
Ew.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 399797.
Hey, Mike Salk here for Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. And not all getaways are going to earn 4 diamonds, but you can experience the 4 Diamond Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, where the breathtaking views, elevated dining, and world-class gaming and entertainment make the perfect escape. Also, check out upcoming shows. You got 80s pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th, or local rock legends Queensryche on October 10th. Tickets at snocasino.com. You can elevate your next getaway. That's 4 Diamond and Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Cars for kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-646-5959. That's 800-646-5959. 800-646-5959.
Football, baby! Nobody gets you closer to the action at Seahawks training camp than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment. Often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital LLC at MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Bump, do you remember how you felt about the piggyback?
Yep.
How was that?
I said, let's give it a go and see what happens because Castillo wasn't playing well at the time. And
Bryce was still working his way back.
And I felt like Castillo deserved some respect on his name. Don't just throw him to the bullpen. So I was curious to see how it was going to work out.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, your thing with the piggyback was not necessarily, oh, they shouldn't be doing this at all. It was, you need to be communicating what's going on here very clearly to guys. A lot of people did not like it at all.
Yeah.
They especially didn't like it when Bryce first came back and he was throwing heat. The velo was really high and they were like, why are you taking out a guy who's playing well? and then putting Castillo in and potentially giving up some of these wins. Now, ironically, the first time they did this, they won. I think they might have done it the second time. I can't totally remember. Anyways, the piggyback was unpopular at the time. Might it be coming back? Now, they went to the 6-man rotation, traded away Luis Castillo, added Cade Anderson, so back to a 6-man right now. But could it be something they consider? Justin Hollander, speaking with reporters yesterday, said they haven't made up their mind on whether or not they're going with a 6-man staff or piggyback just yet.
We're going to continue to talk about that as a staff. We haven't made any decisions as of today. I don't anticipate a 6-man rotation as like a new thing the Mariners are going to do for the rest of 26 and 27 and 28, and we're just going to be a 6-man rotation team. We'll evaluate the situation as we go. So I'll probably have more answers, or Jerry will, or Dan will, as we get towards the end of this week and next week and just see how things are playing out.
And either way, they just want to make the best rotation based on health.
Well, most important, we want to do the right thing for everybody's health. And if guys need extra days, we want to be able to provide them extra days. That's more important than anything else, is making sure that guys have the rest they need. So when we make decisions on how we're going to line up, we'll let you guys know. But I'm sort of hesitant to make a decision before we need to make a decision.
So that to me feels like, okay, is it better for our guys to everyone gets an extra day?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it better for our guys, and by this they're talking about Bryce and Cade, for Cade to not go too much over 80, which he's used to, and for Bryce, whose velo is dipping quite a bit, to not have to make a start and go through 6, to just maybe just give you not long relief. It would be not out of the pen. It's specifically Bryce piggybacking on Cade's starts, but to not give Bryce those starts when he's not totally 100%.
I think the decision that is made has to address exactly what you just said, Bryce and Cade. I would say Cade is probably the one that needs a bit more nurturing at this point. You don't just want to throw him in there and push him too hard. I think anyone can be pushed as Bryce because he's been around the block a few times, but you also want to make sure that he's getting proper rest and he's able to just be in a good place. It's just weird, man. A piggyback, I feel like, is never an easy decision because everyone's affected. And typically you're doing it because 1 or 2 people are struggling in some type of area, right? Mm-hmm. You're like, okay, well, or you have just a surplus of talent and you want to see it. But with that, it affects everybody else. So I know they're going to have data that they're going to look at. I hope they learned from the first piggyback and they're crystal clear with these guys.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Justin is going to be crystal clear with the public as well. We're going to let you guys know exactly what we're doing because it felt like the first time around there was too much gray. Mm-hmm. And we didn't know. It felt like they didn't know. We saw the reactions of Miller. We saw the reactions of Castillo. We've done this before. Hopefully you've learned from it and have a better plan of attack.
Totally agree. That's exactly the right way to say it. That part of the issue with the piggyback in the first place and with most things that a team is going to experiment with is not communicating.
Yeah.
And is it on Dan or anyone within the organization to tell us exactly what they're thinking? No. Mm. But you got to tell players, and it was clear that players weren't 100% clear about what their role was. You could gauge that on Luis Castillo's reaction in the pen, Bryce Miller's reaction and confusion after a game. That communication is the quintessential thing to focus on here. Someone texted in, and we have a couple questions. 206, and now Bryce sucks. That's why you don't listen to baseball fans. They're fanatical. I do want to say something, which is the situation has changed from the first time they had the piggyback.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce, when he came back from the IL, was great. And there was clearly some kind of tension, not between these pitchers and each other. They all have really good relationships, but with like, whose role is what and what are we doing here? And no one else ended up piggybacking, by the way. Mm-hmm. That was also a weird thing. Hmm. It was rolled out in a sloppy way when Bryce was at his very best. Right now, he's not. I think it's a different scenario. And I think you're also looking at, well, what does it mean to have Cade, who you did not have the first time around? What does it mean to have Cade up here when he has no experience going into the 90s with pitching? He's never gone more than 80 in the minors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that changes things. That definitely changes things.
Yeah, it does. There's a lot of things to factor in. And it's a different situation than the last piggyback. You mentioned the pitch count for Cade. You mentioned just the drop in velo from Miller. So it's a different piggyback. So I guess the communication can be a little different, but end of the day, as long as it's clear. Like everyone knows what everyone's doing. This is our approach. And this is the time of the year, too, I think, that the players, you can't be selfish in this moment, right? You got to ride whatever little wave you're trying to create right now. And you don't want to ruffle things out. Like when the piggybacks are, like in April or something like that, April, May, June, something like that. June, I think. That the season is in a different place. The team was in a different place. Right now, it's like, all right, you're in position to try to make a run at this whole thing. The last thing you want to do is have the vibes all jacked up because you didn't have the right conversations with the right people. And you're coming off a big win against Philly. Hopefully you win tonight, create some momentum. You got to think about the team as well, right? The individuals who are involved in the piggyback, communicate there, but also have a team meeting. Guys, this is where we're at. This is the situation. We're 3 games behind. We got a young pitcher. Got to take care of him. There's a way to do it, and I hope that they're going about it. Stand in front of the team, and let's have a family conversation.
Yeah, over-communicate and then make the goal clear.
Yeah.
Over-communicate, make the goal clear. What would you do? Like, what would you like to see them do, I'll say?
I'll piggyback that thing.
Yeah.
I'm down for the piggyback. Miller's down. Cade had a good debut. We want to see what he can do. He was the most dominant pitcher in the minors this year. You want to see him. This is what you were waiting for. We knew we were going to see Cade at some point. We knew we were going to see him. How? Was it going to be a piggyback? Was he just going to be thrown into the rotation? You're going to move someone to the bullpen? Those are the things that we didn't know because you never know where a team is, right? That was months ago. But now I think the piggyback would be perfect. And hopefully Bryce self-evaluates and says, okay, maybe I do need a break. I mean, my arm is, is down a little bit.
Issues, yeah.
Like, it's just sometimes you got to put the pride aside and just live in your reality. And the reality is you could probably use another break or two.
One thing I will say, and I agree, Mike Salk mentioned it this morning, he's like, I would not make Bryce just an automatic reliever. You don't just go, oh, this starter isn't working out for me this year. Let's make him a reliever, especially a long reliever. Like, it's not that easy in the first place. Bryce has never experienced, he's always been a starter. He has never experienced, outside of like maybe 1 or 2 playoff moments, like any of these guys did last year, he has not really experienced pitching, 2-3 days in a row in a bunch of different situations, coming into an inning, starting an inning for him that's like not a clean inning. Like, that's all new for him. And that's kind of the same conversation that we were all having about Luis Castillo, where at the time it felt clear that Luis didn't have it this year in the same way that he had in previous seasons. But outside of keeping him as a starter for trade purposes, you had to consider, like, well, moving to the pen isn't just this automatic, like, you can pitch as a starter, so now we're getting your very best for 2 innings, and then we're done. Like, that's not quite how it works. So Mike cautioned, hey, I don't want to just have, Miller's coming out of the pen and you can throw him in wherever you would put Brash. That's not what this is.
Yeah.
This is very specific. You are pairing these 2 pitchers together routinely for a very specific reason.
Yep.
And that is limitations, health for Bryce, and experience for Cade on both of them that can not only aid your bullpen, but help both of those guys.
Yeah.
That's how it's being packaged. It's not Bryce as a bullpen guy. It's Bryce is piggybacking with Cade.
Do you want to write that up for him and have them communicate it to them that way?
If they could, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I hope they do, because I think it probably helps your ego a little bit to hear hey, this is for both of you guys. We're thinking about health. We're thinking about experience.
Exactly.
This isn't Bryce. You're the new Matt Brash until we get Matt back.
No, sit them down together too. Make it a group thing.
We are going to stick with not stick with the Mariners. Get back to the Mariners coming up at 11 with Seattle Times reporter Mike Vorel. He's got a really interesting take on Randy Rosarena that I can't wait to get to. Before we get to that, though, the NFL does not know how to have a conversation about Sam Darnold. We'll tell you what we mean next.
Are you subscribed to Seattle Sports on YouTube? Then you saw Seattle Sports' latest Seahawks digital exclusive first.
Seahawks got some good work against Cam Ward and the Titans starters. Coach's message after this was the fact that they are continuing to build and get better. Coach is seeing the progress, and the players are saying things are starting to slow down a little bit so that they can process a little bit quicker on the field.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and know first.
Sebastian's shoulder injury was dramatic.
I was snowboarding down a really steep hill. I hit a tree and went straight through it and came out the other side and had torn my shoulder up.
And the pain?
The pain level was probably at a 9 and the shock level was at about a 15.
I can imagine. It even affected the simplest things.
Couldn't put the seatbelt on in my car. car.
Instead of surgery, he went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for Stem Cell Therapy, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
It's way better. I got much better mobility. It doesn't ache as much.
Do you recommend it to people who may be considering surgery?
Absolutely. I got a lot of faith in the way that the science is developing around it, and why not heal your body with your own body?
So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever it is, before choosing surgery, go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Want to see the defending Super Bowl champion Seahawks open the 2026 season against the Patriots September 9th?
Seattle Sports is giving away 4 tickets.
Holy catfish! All you have to do is open the Seattle Sports app and enter.
You can enter once a day from August 25th through August 31st to boost your chances.
Full details at seattlesports.com/win.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Fall Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, August 29th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles, many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit luckyoldcar.com for a list and pictures of auction vehicles, or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Every jersey tells a story.
So many people dressed in Seahawks blue.
From unforgettable touchdowns.
Touchdown, Seahawks! Jackson Smith-Njigba, Johnny on the spot.
To game-changing hits.
He gets hitting it. Leonard Williams drags him down.
To memorable catches.
Jordan dropping back to pass in the end zone to Larkin. Touchdown, Seahawks!
History lives in every thread. Shop official Seahawks jerseys in-store at Lumen Field, The Landing in Renton, or online at Seahawks.com/pro shop.
Mariners and Phillies tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owed the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-684-2297. 800-684-2297. 800-684-2297.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Guys, if your energy is down, your workouts feel harder, and your drive isn't what it used to be, it may not be aging. It could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, the first step is simple: a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. We'll review your labs, symptoms, and overall health to determine if testosterone therapy could help improve your energy, strength, and performance. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Revive has helped over 120,000 men since 2011 improve energy, sleep, mood, and confidence. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Get answers and take control of your health. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com. Revive Health. Elevate your vibe. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact Revive for full details.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Getting back to the Mariners in 15 with Seattle Times columnist Mike Vorel. Before we get to that, you know what we've been noticing during these conversations? That sometimes the NFL doesn't quite know how to talk about middle-class quarterbacks. And Bump, here's what I mean. I get a little frustrated when the conversation about Sam Darnold becomes trying to debate whether or not Sam is elite. And I'll be honest, there are times when I'll get texts in to the text line from Seahawks fans, almost like angry with one or both of us for saying like, yeah, you know, Sam's not going to be perfect here, or Sam has to do this. And it's like you want to defend your own quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And that's totally fine. Sports are almost entirely just like subjective opinion. But I also think that sometimes as sports fans, we can't hold a place in our brain for someone just being a good quarterback. Like eventually you know what I mean? Like, oh, the bottom's going to fall out. It'll cost you eventually. And it's like, I just think it's like we don't know how to process that guy. And coincidentally, the last couple Super Bowl winners with Jalen Hurts and Sam Darnold, both kind of middle-class quarterbacks.
Yeah. I think because quarterback is the most important position in football. Big boys, I see you. It's not football without y'all, but quarterback gets paid the most for a reason. And naturally, I think that when fans see their quarterback and he doesn't look like the best in the world, they think that you can't win with him. But when history has shown you that most of the quarterbacks who win Super Bowls are just good NFL quarterbacks. You got the elites, the Pats, the Toms, the Aarons, and all that stuff. And you just want it to look a certain way. And if it doesn't look a certain way, then I think because a lot of people don't have the proper or the depth of knowledge for the game, they think that that's not a recipe for success. Even if you see it, right? How did Philly win? Best O-line in the game. Best running back in the game.
One of the best
D-lines. Couple good receivers. D-line was on point. Their GM won that Super Bowl for them, essentially. Mm-hmm. Just like our GM. Now, the players got to play, so no disrespect to Philly players. Y'all got to go execute. But just like us, John and Mike set this team up because you had the right formula to win the Super Bowl. Players still got to go out and play. Jason, best receiver in the game. Defense, best in the game. Sam Darnold, a better than average quarterback. I think it's okay for people to want the best for their team. And they want the best quarterback in the game. You want an MVP Super Bowl winning quarterback. You never had that here in Seattle as far as an MVP caliber type of quarterback. Russ has been in the mix a few years. Sam was for a little bit. But end of the year, you just don't have that. So I think it's the yearn to have the best of the best. But you got to understand, if you surround a quarterback with certain attributes with the right pieces, right coordinator, you will have a chance to win ball games.
I'm just kind of spitballing this idea, so I don't even know if I'm right or if I'll believe this in like an hour. I'm just kind of thinking in real time with what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I wonder if part of it, too, is like a cultural thing. And by that, I mean it's both sports and just the U.S. and how we see things, right? Because I really do mean it's not just, oh, people don't give Sam or Jalen enough credit. It's we don't even know how to talk about them. Like we almost don't possess the skill as sports fans to figure out how to deal, like the nuance of a very imperfect or just good enough guy. Like we don't know how to have the conversation. And part of it is the nature of sports is so competitive that every single NFL offseason is just ranking things, best to worst. Like that's what we're really good at, just as sports folks. What we do is like best quarterbacks, best wide receivers, best teams, most overlooked teams. Like it's just what we do. We just rank things and the idea is to be the best. And that's inherent to sports and the competition of football especially. But then kind of inherent sometimes to, I don't know if it's like this elsewhere, but just how we talk about things in the U.S. is you got to be the best. You got to be the absolute best. And if you're not the best, then you're failing and you need to find a way to improve and make yourself better.
Yeah.
And so both of those things combine to where sometimes we don't see Super Bowl winners coming because we don't know how to watch for them, or we just don't know how to accept that a quarterback will be riddled with questions and concern, but also good enough to win with. And by the way, you are not guaranteed a Super Bowl with the best quarterback. I think Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, I'll take Mahomes out of it because he's won multiple times, obviously, but like Josh Allen, near universally, would be a top 3 quarterback for the vast majority of people. Doesn't even have an appearance in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. It doesn't take away from his talent, but like we don't know how to process or talk about guys that don't have all the tools because it doesn't make sense to us.
And what's crazy too is a week 1 starter in this NFL, right? Minus maybe 3 or 4 quarterbacks. I'm just throwing a number out there. Most of them can make every throw on the field, is fairly mobile. You know, they're one of the best quarterbacks in the world. There's only 32 of these guys.
Yeah.
But there's this 0.5% that is so much better than everyone else. That's what we're looking for. So I like your point. I think it is a cultural thing that we just want to win. That's the U.S. Arrogant, just how we live our lives. But if we haven't learned from the last couple of years, it's okay. Put more pressure on your GM to surround that quarterback with what he needs to help that OC to have the pieces that he needs to be successful. Because your chances are your team is not going to have that 0.5% quarterback where he's just so far ahead of everybody. So yeah, I think Jalen, I think Sam go down the history of just okay quarterbacks to win. Mm-hmm. If they're supported correctly, you're going to have a chance. And leadership is big, too.
Yeah. Someone texted in, if you win a Super Bowl, I feel like you're the best. But that's what I'm saying. We're doing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing it right now. You're finding an argument for why Sam Darnold is the best quarterback. And you know what? He's not. I do not think he is. I think he's a winner. I think this is a Super Bowl team.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can make a case this is the best team. But we do not know how to balance someone not being elite. I'm talking top 3, elite, and also succeeding.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a mistake. It feels like something that shouldn't happen. Or maybe it feels like we're wrong. Oh, well, Sam succeeded, so actually we're wrong. He is elite. Well, no, I don't think so. I think he does some things incredibly well. He struggles with other things, and I also think that's okay. I think that's okay. You clearly do not need to be elite at quarterback to win a Super Bowl. We have seen that with Sam. We've seen that with Jalen Hurts. We've seen that with other teams before. I think that Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes combining for so many wins, and those two teams, obviously Tampa Bay in there with Brady, but the Patriots and Chiefs combining for so many wins has tilted that where it's like, oh, you got to have the face of the league to win all the time. And it's like, well, yeah, those two cleaned up. But there's a lot of other teams that have been represented in those moments. And I just think we don't know what to do, that even in this moment, and trying to defend Sam, which, like, I totally get you for doing it, but you're doing it right now.
I'll tell you this. I will put Sam Darnold's arm talent up against anybody in this league. He can make any throw any of these quarterbacks can make. Do they have other things on them? For sure. But that's a great place to start when you're starting at the quarterback position and you need someone to be chucking the ball all across the field.
Yeah. I am challenging myself also to rethink how we evaluate how far teams can go. Because honestly, the majority of the teams don't have that guy. Inherent to being an elite quarterback means there's like, what, how many? Maybe 5, if that, 3, top 3, top 2. The majority of the teams don't have that guy. But do you have a guy that's good enough? And I think the Seahawks do. And that doesn't mean he's bad. It just means that even right now, when you're finding yourself wanting to defend Sam, it's because we don't know how to handle someone being very, very good.
We know he's good enough.
Yeah, he clearly
Just won a Super Bowl. We know he's good enough.
He clearly is.
Come on.
But I think it's fascinating. All of sports is who's the best. Let's rank them 1 through 10. Who's number 1? And we constantly debate who's number 1, and we move the goalposts however we need to. And I feel like it's this flawed thing that won't accept nuance or imperfections. Yeah. And I think that's fascinating. Yep. Back to the Mariners with Seattle Times' Mike Vorel next.
A breaker preparing for incoming. And Lord mercy, the big dumper's been waiting a Smoky Mountain minute for this payload. Over.
Gone! His first 3-homer game of his career.
This is where you hear every
Into the lower deck and right. What a night for the big dumper.
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal Raleigh, a monster night.
Hey, Mike Salk here for Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and not all getaways are going to earn 4 diamonds, but you can experience the 4 Diamond Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, where the breathtaking views, elevated dining, and world-class gaming and entertainment make the perfect escape. Also, check out upcoming shows. You got 80s pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th, or local rock legends Queensryche on October 10th. Tickets at snocasino.com. You can elevate your next getaway. That's 4 Diamond and Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
What if I told you a local credit union is giving members up to $30 per month just to make everyday purchases? Dave Wyman here, and when I heard about the offer from Harborstone Credit Union, I said, sign me up. And that's what I did at harborstone.com/cash. You know, I'm not a tech-savvy guy, but opening a checking account was easy enough for me to figure out. I got my PNW Cashback checking account for free, no fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. My wife loves it when I get cash back on gas, groceries, coffee, travel, and lunch. All categories count towards your cash back. You can even tap to pay. If you live, work, or worship in the state of Washington, sign up for a membership with Harborstone Credit Union and get the PNW Cashback free checking account. Open your free account online like I did at harborstone.com/cash or visit one of their 29 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
The best safety feature on any machine is a well-trained operator. With online, hands-on, in-class, and blended options, Levitt Training helps your team stay safe, certified, and confident on the job. Book your training today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
We can't tell you what our best deal is until we know what you need, but we can promise this. At Lee Johnson, we'll work hard to find it.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Progressive knows you've got plenty of things to worry about.
What time does the kids' practice end? How long has that check engine light been on? Are takeout containers microwave safe?
So the last thing you should have to worry about is what to do if something unexpected happens on the road. That's why if you're ever in a major accident, Progressive's accident response can detect it and send help. It's just one less thing to worry about.
How long does chicken last in the fridge?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-762-6565. That's 800-762-6565.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Let's go!
is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners pummeled the Phillies in yesterday's series opener thanks to 5 home runs, including 3 from Cal Raleigh, who became the first Mariner ever to hit 3 in a game at T-Mobile Park and the first since Edgar to hit 3 at home. George Kirby gets the start for Game 2 tonight at 6:40 p.m. Pregame show starts at 5:30 right here on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Talking Mariners with Seattle Times columnist Mike Vorel joining us now. Mike, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Fantastic. Obviously, great news today with the Mariners win. You know, it's funny. I was actually thinking about, I do want to get to your new column on Randy Arozarena, but you wrote a column a while ago. It was unfortunately a little tongue-in-cheek, and it was about how the Mariners haven't really had a turning point yet, that there have been a million points when we've gone, this is the turning point. This is it. They tapped into something here, and then inevitably it just hasn't been, whether it was a win over the Dodgers or a series victory over Houston, whatever it is. Did you find yourself once again, almost jokingly, getting into, is this the turning point territory last night? Or have you decided, you know what, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe they just need consistency. Where have you settled?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the constant temptation in the baseball season where it's, you know, it is a marathon, but it feels so reactionary. So every day, no matter what happens, if it's negative, it's okay, everything is over. And if they start turning around, if they have a game where you hit 5 homers, you think, okay, something has clicked. And I think the last couple of days, obviously, you know, you're sandwiching in another embarrassing loss, but around that, you know, you win 2 of 3 against the Cubs, who are a good team, and then the Phillies, who'd been the hottest team in baseball, and you look convincing yesterday. So, yeah, you know, you're seeing the signs of life, and that is a good thing. And if you're looking for positives, and you see another positive Logan Gilbert start, and you see Cal Raleigh do what he hasn't done all season, and Julio show some life, all the ingredients are there. But I think big picture, you need to zoom out and see this happen consistently for a couple of series in a row. Is that going to happen? Obviously, they've got a tough road in the next couple of days, and then they go on the road to the East Coast. And so, you know, one way or the other, we're going to see if this is real. But, yeah, there are some positives to take away from the last couple of days for sure.
Hey, Mike, how do you think this rotation should be handled, right? You got Cade, who's up, Miller, who's been struggling. We've already done the piggyback with Castillo and Miller to start this season. I'm all for a piggyback. I think it's smart to keep Cade's innings down and also help Miller out with his injuries a bit. What do you think should be done with this rotation?
Yeah, I think a lot of that depends on what we see in Brian Woo's next start. Obviously, if he's feeling good and he's himself, and that's one thing. And if he's not, then you have different decisions to make. But you know, I feel like with what you've seen from Bryce Miller and him, you know, now admitting publicly that he's not 100%, you know, I think the concept of shifting him to a bullpen role where his stuff might play up a little bit more makes a lot of sense to me. And, you know, Cade Anderson, they say that there's not an innings limit at this point, and, you know, he's a guy who can give you a little bit more length. You know, the piggyback, you know, it would make some sense considering that Cade hasn't had a lot of length in his entire minor league season to this point, but also there's a lot of other factors you bring into it when you're re-entering the piggyback into the equation. And if all of a sudden Bryce is figuring it out and then, you know, Cade struggles, you flip it, and there's a lot of math that has to be done, you know, when you delve back into the piggyback. So I feel like, you know, if Brian Woo is Brian Woo, then, you know, moving Bryce into more of a bullpen role and helping him to get healthy and giving him shorter chunks would make sense to me. But there's a lot to be seen here as far as if Cade Anderson really is ready and if he can give you the kind of length that you need from a starter.
We'll get to some other stuff with this season, certainly the rest of this series against the Phillies and looking ahead to a much easier September schedule. But I wanted to get to a piece that was published in the Seattle Times this morning. You wrote about Randy Arozarena having a career year. And Mike, it was fascinating because the column, to me at least, was less about, oh my God, look at Randy and how great he's been, and more about what his great season made you think of and reminded you of when it came to the Mariners and how they invest or don't. So I want to ask kind of what to you was the most telling part of this that made you, really feel like I want to write this column. This moment really speaks to me. And what do you think happens with Randy? If you were the Mariners, would you reinvest and try to get him to come back?
Yeah, I think, what kind of hit me as he's going through this career game and career weekend, and he's surging, and he's obviously been so consistent offensively all season. You hit this point on Saturday where this guy lifts this team to victory, and it's this rousing moment. And really for months now, I think the widespread assumption for Mariners fans has been Randy's having a great year, but at the end of it, he's going to go somewhere else because this franchise just doesn't really get into bidding wars and doesn't bring back free agents. And for the most part, that's not how they operate, and that's probably just not what they're going to do. And I think that's just kind of a bummer to me is, in that column, I spend 80% of the column saying, here's the pros to bringing back Randy, here's the cons to bringing back Randy. But the conclusion is that the debate doesn't really matter because they're probably not bringing back Randy. And I think it's a shame for this franchise and its fans that you can't really have that kind of debate because you sort of know, unless they surprise me, but you sort of know what the end result is going to be because the more he hits, the more he plays well, the more he gives you these moments, the higher his cost is going to be, the higher the price is going to be, the more bidders there's going to be. And the Mariners just don't really operate in that field. So I think, it was two things with that column. It's, wow, here's this really interesting debate about this guy's positives and his negatives and his effort at times and his defense at times and is the good more than the bad. But two, does it really even matter that we have this conversation because is he gone regardless? And I think, given history, he probably won't be around next season. And you might think that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think it's definitely a bad thing that we feel like we already know the answer at this point.
What are your expectations for JP? Obviously, he's going to be back in the lineup today, I believe, at shortstop. It's nice to have him with Colt going through what he's going through. And we've seen this before, right? Cal coming up, some other players getting some assignments done and then moving back up. Just your thoughts on JP and how he can contribute to this team.
Yeah, I mean, I think what they need is, a league average shortstop, essentially, where their answers to this point haven't really been answers. And that's not the fault of Colt Emerson necessarily when you're asking a 20, 21-year-old to step into that role full time when he's never played in the majors. And then obviously he's working through an injury. And then you bring up Brock Rodden, and he wasn't on anyone's radar as someone who was going to help this team this season. So he's doing what he can in his first taste of the minors. They just need consistency. They need someone who they feel like can be steady and who they can count on, not to hit a bunch of homers, but in order to be the biggest producer on this team, but to, put away basic ground balls, to get on base, to work counts, to do the kind of things that we know JP can do. So, yeah, I think, when you looked at his season, obviously there's been a lot of erratic moments defensively, and he's had a hard time staying healthy, and there's been some issues offensively as well. You don't quite know what this version of him is. I just think they need someone who's not a negative at that spot. If they're going to make the run that they need to make, it's going to have to be Cal and Naylor and Julio and Randy Arozarena and all those guys lifting them. They need their shortstop to just be steady, and that's not something that they've had all season, so that's what they would hope that JP would give them.
The question I'm going to ask you has a million possible answers, so I will not hold you just to one, and I acknowledge that. But thankfully for the Mariners, and frankly for us, because I'd like to hopefully watch playoff baseball, the season does not end right now. However, Mike, if it did, if the season ended yesterday, what would be, you think, the biggest lesson learned for the Mariners?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, they probably would learn some lessons about their approach, which is you went into this season and everything that was talked about, and there was so much of the narrative that, this is the most complete team they've had going into a season under Jerry Dipoto. And they actually had an off season where they fixed their flaws and they addressed some weaknesses, which is also kind of unfortunate that there is such surprise around that. They had an obvious hole and they did something to fill it. But when you've got an issue, it's such a lefty-heavy lineup of what are you going to do against left-handed pitching? And it did feel like they signed Rob Refsnyder, one player who has hit against lefties in his career, and they kind of threw their hands up and said, well, we did it. And it just felt like, obviously we know now that didn't work out, but it just was an approach where if one thing goes wrong, then all of a sudden, the entire house of cards falls through. So, that's also an issue in terms of investment with this team and feeling like maybe you're doing the bare minimum and hoping that it works out. But that plan was just wasn't enough to actually hold up at the moment. And it's the same thing. We're at the trade deadline. I think if this doesn't work out for the season, you feel like it's a second consecutive season where you said, well, we tried to get a reliever and you got Sir Anthony Dominguez, but you wanted to take a bigger swing on an impact leverage guy, and they just said that they couldn't get it done and they couldn't make it fit. And what do you have now is a severe numbers disadvantage in your bullpen. So that's going to be something where they're looking at it and saying, if we need to give up a prospect, if we need to take a risk, then that's what we have to do to complete this team, because it's obvious that they had a hole there going into the deadline and they weren't able to take care of it for a second consecutive season.
What's going on in the AL West? I think ESPN has the Mariners at 38% chance to make the playoffs, Astros at 43, Rangers at 48. Obviously, we watch more Mariners than anybody, so just tell me about the profile of the Astros and the Rangers right now, and what do you think the chances are the Mariners do leapfrog them?
Yeah, I mean, there are no boogeymen in the AL West. Those guys are not running away from anyone. Neither one of those teams really added or acted like a legitimate buyer other than the Astros getting Varsho. At the trade deadline, no one really did anything. It was the Mariners that supposedly made the biggest move, although Taylor Ward hasn't been good either. But, I mean, yeah, those are teams that have been kind of sputtering along. The Astros don't throw strikes, and their rotation is extremely iffy, and the Rangers, had a partial sale at the deadline. So if you're the Mariners, they're down in the division at this point. So there is, ground to be made up, but they just need to win the games they have to win. They need to focus on taking series and, having a streak of consecutive one series and just building momentum. It doesn't need to be at this point a 15-game winning streak. You're not facing that kind of competition. They just need to take one series after the other, continue to build on themselves. And I think they'll find themselves in a pretty good spot.
Yesterday, unsurprisingly, it was prior to the Phillies game, so we're coming off a 19-2 loss for the Seattle Mariners. We had a lot of people chiming in with, Dan this and Dan that. And I was like, yeah, it's totally fair. Totally fair to critique in-game decision-making. So we decided to have a segment where we said, well, what do you want to see differently? Like, instead of just kind of, I don't like the way Dan does it. Well, what do you want to see him try to do? So I'll throw you the same question, Mike, when it comes to Dan Wilson, how he's managing this team right now, whether it's tactical decisions, whatever it is, what's something that over the season's final month you'd really like to see him do?
Yeah, I think it's tough because you're kind of, when you're 5 months into a 6-month season, it feels like you're a little bit entrenched in your ideology. But obviously, I do think he's made some strides in riding a hot hand and not being just absolutely so tethered to the idea of the platoon where you can't have Dom Canzone play against a lefty and vice versa because you feel like the numbers don't support that. I think they need to continue. If somebody is hot in this lineup, they don't have the ability to not play someone who's hitting because they don't have enough hitters in this lineup at this point. When you're 29th in OPS and 30th in runs, you have to let a hot hand be a hot hand. And I think that's a big thing. And then just, obviously there's been a lot of talk around his usage in the bullpen, and some of that is a tough problem to solve because they just simply don't have the numbers. And there are some guys in that bullpen that probably aren't major league guys on a lot of rosters. So that is tough. But, when you've got a Cade Anderson and he's coming in and he hasn't, gone past 5 innings in many of his minor league starts, and he's hitting 80 pitches, you got to be smart with that. And you have to understand that this is like a playoff game every night. In the playoffs, you have, a very short leash on your pitchers because you can't afford to let a game get away. And that's the way that they've got to approach it, So if Cade Anderson walks a couple of guys in a row in the 5th inning, you've got to be looking at your possibilities. And if you do have a Bryce Miller who you've shifted into a bullpen role or something in that vein, you've got to be able to pull that trigger. So every night is different, and they do have issues that they, that you would have liked to have them for them to have solved in terms of their bullpen arms. And some of those guys are going to be coming back, hopefully, with the Brashes and the Criswells. But yeah, obviously there are some decision-making issues in his arm usage that you would hope would be tightened up down the stretch.
Mike, when do you buy back into the Mariners winning the division, getting to the playoffs? Because I watched the game last night, and we opened the show, and obviously 9-2, we're talking about it. But I'm still hesitant. I'm still sticking my toe in the water and saying, no, we'll see. When When will you be convinced that this team can do everything they sought out to do?
Yeah, it's a great question. Like I said, I feel like if you're a fan, which I wouldn't classify myself as that per se, but like the more you get hurt, the harder it is to believe. It's like the more that you stick your hand on the stove and get burned, you learn a lesson from that. And like I wrote and Stacey alluded to, there have been a lot of siren songs in this season instead of turning points where you've got a massive Dom Ken zone homer in Texas and you win a game that you were losing. You think, okay, this is it. And then it's absolutely not it. And then you beat the Dodgers in a big rousing comeback and you think that's it, and it's not. So I feel like I need to see this team, like I said earlier, win consecutive series and stack up momentum and play a brand of baseball that feels repeatable and consistent in terms of winning the way that they think they can win with, hitting homers, which is part of their formula, but having the kind of starting pitching that they're used to and that they believe in. And I think if you follow that formula and they start to win series and you get into that meat of that schedule that is super winnable against teams that they should be beating, if they're right around it at that point, you feel like, okay, this is a division that could be won. And that's not just a credit to the Mariners. It's also a reflection about how bad this division is. They should not be in it at this point. We should not be having this conversation.
And yet.
But here we are, and they can't apologize for that. So winning this division, is not something that you apologize for. They need to go take it.
Mike's latest on Randy Arozarena's career year and whether or not the Mariners should or will re-sign him is up on SeattleTimes.com, the Seattle Times app. Great read. He is Seattle Times columnist Mike Vorel. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
The 2026 NFL season kicks off September 9th at Lumen Field. We want to send one of you and 3 friends to be there in person. The defending Super Bowl champs Seahawks open the season against the Patriots in a rematch of Super Bowl 60. All you need to do to be entered is open the Seattle Sports app. And then you can find out how to enter once you open the app. Now, you have a couple options. You can get the app on the App Store. If you don't already have it, it's free. Or you can just text us, APP, to 866-979-3776, and then we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, August 31st. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, to the surprise of no one, you've been watching film. What did you see with the Seahawks offense?
I like the distribution of the football in the pass game. A lot of it is determined on the defense, right? Defense takes things away. You got to go here, you got to go there. But it's a good start. Yeah, the running backs with 7 targets, 7 receptions, receivers with 10 targets, 7 receptions, tight ends with 7 and 5 receptions. The leading receiver when it comes to yards was Arroyo with 50 yards in a 36-yard game. Now, I like it. I like them taking the check downs. You get the football to your running backs. You hit this, tighten up the seam for a big one. You had Brady who had a reception as well. It's just nothing's being forced right now. Once 11 is on the field and 86 is on the field, then things might be forced a little bit. But to start, for Brian Fleury to have an offense that always has an answer, which all offenses do, but getting your guys to take it, to take the check down, to take the simple throw up the seam, to take the quick out. I think it's a good place to start and a good foundation.
Second down. Who are the 3 rumored trade targets Sports Illustrated mentioned, and how do you feel about it?
All right, so I'm just going to go 2. I'm going to save the third one for third down. Cedric Tillman, a wide receiver from the Cleveland Browns, 6'3", 215. Last year had 21 receptions and 207 yards and 2 touchdowns. The reason why he's being mentioned is because the Hawks, 12s, are still learning to trust Torrey Horton. It seems like he is always hurt. That was his knack at Colorado State. There's nothing he can control. But the Seahawks got to make sure that if he's not able to be that number 4 receiver, you got to have the guy. Jake Bobo goes down. You know that he'll be able to fill that role. You're still waiting to see what Montori Foster looks like. This is a big receiver who has shown some production, and I think, they could take a look at it. The next one is Kayvon Thibodeau. This is all from Sports Illustrated, right? Kayvon Thibodeau has been rumored in a trade talking, which is fine. I think that's fine, but I would focus more on the secondary at this point. We're still waiting to see what Taron Arnold's situation looks like, what his Diggs going to look like. When I look at the defensive line, I don't see any voids that needs to be filled. I think everyone is in a good spot. If you want some reinforcement, understanding that I get it, Kayvon Thibodeau, one of the best in the game, coming out of college out of Oregon. I would definitely take a look at both of these guys.
Interesting name. Third down. I mean, it's like I knew Kayvon last week before talking about this, but I'd kind of forgotten about the whole conversation. What's going to be the most intriguing story from the game Friday?
It's Jalen Milroe. I've been talking about him. I talked about him yesterday, too. But Jalen Milroe, the third guy they had connected to the Seahawks, is quarterback Tanner McKee out of Stanford. He's been with the Eagles in 6 games, completed 61% of his passes, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. And the reason why he's being connected is because Jalen hasn't done enough for guys to feel like if something were to happen to Drew and Sam, he can come in and do his thing. I pointed out that a lot of reasons why his plays haven't been successful ain't all because of him. Linemen getting beat, wide receivers not getting open. But you want your quarterback to kind of elevate that third-string team. With Tanner McKee, he played some games for the Eagles and showed that he knows how to operate. In short, in 6 games, his numbers are okay. So this is going to be big for Jalen Milroe. This is going to be a huge game for him. He's got to go into this game and treat it as if it is his Super Bowl. It's his playoff game because they got to figure out what to do with him. And when you start getting quarterbacks connected to that position, a position that is healthy, that means that the performance has not been up to par or where they want it to be. So these are trade rumors. Who knows how accurate these are? But all 3 of these make sense. Thibodeau's the one that I think isn't too urgent, but a wideout and a backup quarterback, I think is legit.
That's why I was so surprised to hear. I was fully expecting it to be a safety or, 4th down. What are you glad you didn't have to do as a rookie?
Rookie shows. I'm seeing clips from Hard Knocks.
You didn't have to do that?
Nope. No rookie shows. I'm so glad. Maybe it was just the culture. Mike Holmgren, older
serious
guy, doesn't I saw Holmgren smile like 5 times while I was there. You know what I mean? Like, different type of culture while I was there, and we weren't very good. I feel like rookie shows are reserved for teams that have a lot of potential. You can relax a little bit. But no, I'm so glad I didn't have to do a rookie show because I don't know what I would do. I do not sing. I do not dance. I don't have, jokes in my back pocket. The jokes usually come naturally just talking to people. I don't have a rookie talent like that. So I'm so glad I didn't have to do it. I didn't have to pay for any dinners. They knew I was poor, so we were good.
Now, Bump, we've seen you at karaoke.
Well, that's different.
I'm just saying, I think we know what your rookie talent would be.
I ain't singing.
No, but you're working a crowd. You work a crowd.
I'll rap. I ain't singing, though.
Yeah. But that could be your rookie talent.
That could be it.
Yeah.
You're right.
Do you know how to juggle?
No. I've tried.
Maybe gymnastics?
No. I used to be able to do a backflip.
I like the idea of a roast. Just pick people from the audience and roast them.
I'm not good at that, man. I don't like making people feel bad. I'm not good at that.
Can you imagine if the roast is just really mean jokes? We're like, this guy sucks.
Going in.
He's really cruel. That's awful. They're not even jokes. You're just insulting people to their face.
Yeah, that'd be all bad.
What a rookie joke. Well, you have time to think about what your rookie talent. Maybe we should do a talent show.
I don't think that's.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I don't think so.
Matt, how would you feel about us doing a talent show, the Bump and Stacy talent show?
It would give me an opportunity to laugh at you guys. So
well, no, you're
I say
doing
go for
it too.
No, I'm not.
God.
I'll MC it, but I ain't being a part of it.
The Big Ten is pushing back against a major change to college football. That's next.
A breaker preparing for incoming. And Lord mercy, the big dumper's been waiting a Smoky Mountain minute for this payload. Over.
Gone! His first 3-homer game of his career.
This is where you hear every
Into the lower deck and right. What a night for the big dumper.
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal Raleigh, a monster night.
What's up, Bum here, letting you know we got something special cooked up for you football fans. This year we're doing a station-wide football pick'em promotion exclusively brought to you by our friends at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Every single week, make your picks at seattlesports.com/football. Competing against other listeners and all the hosts here at Seattle Sports. It is free to join. Silver Reef Casino Resort stepped up huge to bring this promotion to everyone listening and to make sure you're getting your picks in each week. One weekly winner will win a $100 gift card to Silver Reef, and one grand prize winner will win a $1,000 gift card at the end of the season. Good fun. Free competition. We'll also have station prize for one winner who beats me this season. If you beat me this season, we got you, man. No one beats me. I'm taking the prize. Get your picks in at seattlesports.com/football. Beat your friends, beat other listeners, beat our hosts, and try to beat me. Ain't happening. Football Pick'em by Silver Reef Casino Resort at seattlesports.com/football.
Looking to add some excitement to your next night out? Then come roll the dice. Join us Sunday to Thursday after 8 p.m. at Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar as Chef John Howie turns your dinner into an exciting game of chance. Enjoy fresh seafood, premier sushi, great steaks, and so much more. At the end of your meal, you roll the dice. You roll a 6, your entire food tab is free. Yes, 100% free. Will fortune favor you tonight? Gather your friends and go roll the dice. Book your table now at SeaStarRestaurant.com.
Everyone always asks me, what were your top reasons for choosing Advanced Hair? Well, allow me to share, along with some details, on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. Okay, first off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and I'm living proof those results are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge quality experience that blew away my expectations. And lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It is quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair's Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details to schedule your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on Wash and Wax, you can get 3 Meguiar's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back.
On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month finance agreement.
Compassion. Communication. Results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. That's pendergastlaw.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Cascade Machinery and Electric has been the Pacific Northwest's trusted industrial machinery expert for over 100 years. And right now they're hiring outside sales representatives in Alaska, Washington, and Oregon. If you're an experienced seller of industrial equipment, highly motivated and have a skill for building relationships, a rewarding career is waiting for you. The salary is competitive. The benefits are great. Visit cascade-machinery.com/careers and apply today. Cascade Machinery and Electric, powering the Pacific Northwest since 1918.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. At Pella Windows and Doors, we pride ourselves on delivering top-quality windows and doors that enhance the beauty and energy efficiency of your home. Our products are built to last with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. Whether you're looking to upgrade your windows or install new doors, Pella has you covered.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
So unrelated to any of the sports stories we have going on today, but given that it's the timeline news we just saw coming across our timelines, R.I.P. Dolly Parton, man.
Yeah.
I love
That's a
Dolly.
bummer.
That's really sad. And she was 80. Only
I thought she was
80.
older than that.
Yeah.
But because she, I don't know, Dog, she's a legend, man.
Yeah.
What's her damn? They remade one of her songs, man.
I mean, a million of them.
Yeah.
Shout out to one of the realists.
Oh,
Dolly
the
Parton.
Whitney Houston one.
Yeah.
I Will Always Love You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which she wrote, didn't she? Was it that, or was it Jolene that she wrote it in like not even that long? Like it just came to her and she just figured it out, and they ended up being two massive hits.
She was
Dolly Parton.
ridiculous talent,
I
and
know.
then also did like so much good with her fortune as well.
Yeah, and would regularly speak out about things she believed in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She has a book program where her foundation just sends out free books to kids all across the country.
I
You
love
don't even have
that.
to do anything.
Yeah. Shout out to Dolly Parton. We lost a good one. So, again, coming across our timeline, Dolly Parton. That's really sad. Okay, let me get to the sports news since I know that's what you're here for. We're going to start with college football. Conferences across college football are pushing back against teams recruiting past pros with eligibility remaining. So if you guys remember, one of the big stories from this week was what was happening with LSU. They are not the only school to have these agreements in place, but Daquan Wright, who was a tight end, recently waived by the Browns, is going to LSU. Big Ten is going to become the first conference to pass a rule banning former professional athletes from returning to school. This from Pete Thamel. He said they will pass a program that won't allow them to return for a Big Ten school. Anyone who's declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw, appeared on an NFL roster, or signed a contract with a pro league cannot be on a Big Ten roster. That's what the that's what the rule is going to be.
Seems fair. I have nothing against that. I think as soon as you, like I said yesterday, as soon as you put on the practice jersey, the helmet, you walk in, you have a locker, you're in the facility, you're preparing, you're trying out for a team, it should be cut. The funny part is we used to lean on amateurism, right? Oh, but they're amateurs, right?
Yeah.
You know, as soon as you get rid of your amateur status, you can't be a pro. They're getting paid now in college. So
they're like, well, now we want more pros.
Yeah, it's like, well, hold on. I haven't been an amateur for the last 2 years.
Yes.
Why is it different now? So there's so many. This is such an interesting time when it comes to college sports because we're making this natural transition to college sports being like the minor leagues. So the lines are blurred a bit. I'm all for athletes not being able to come back because I want the younger athletes to have a better opportunity.
Now, I agree with you. And interestingly, it's one thing when it's the Big Ten. The SEC also agrees with you, which is very interesting given LSU is kind of at the forefront of this. The SEC also released a statement saying they don't support schools bringing back former professionals. The statement, which is fairly long, just says college sports, it ends with college sports are for college athletes. The current confusion around national eligibility standards emphasizes the need to advance the Protect College Sports Act. Now, Lane Kiffin. Bit of a pickle here for the SEC. LSU head coach Lane Kiffin was asked why he's actively recruiting professionals.
We have, made a decision to recruit some kids around the country. And, through these multiple injunctions around the country, which this is not a first time, they've been in college sports for a while, a group of players were granted a 5th year of eligibility around the country in multiple sports. And through them winning their injunction and entry into the portal, they're available to recruit. And so ourselves, like many places around the country, are recruiting them. And at the end of the day, because of these rulings, they're either going to play for you or they're going to play somewhere else around the country. So we've made a decision to recruit them, like probably most people are.
That was a lot of words from Lane Kiffin to say, we want to win, and it's not against the rules.
Exactly. If it's not against the rules, they're going to continue to do it. And a 18-year-old freshman straight out of high school does not compare to a 22-year-old junior senior who's been around the block a few times, has probably played in 2 to 3 schools at this point of his career, is a more of an adult. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's an advantage there. They have a clear advantage. If you want to win right now, you go ahead and get them. Indiana had one of the oldest teams in football last year. Guess what? They won a national championship. There's just less learning or teaching that goes on when you can get those guys. Doesn't mean that I agree with the concept, but if he's not doing anything illegal, then I see nothing wrong with it.
A real question, how does the SEC navigate this? Now, it's one thing for the Big Ten to say, hey, we're not going to do this because while those agreements might be in place, so far only 2 players have returned from the NFL to signing with college teams, and both were at LSU. But if the SEC is coming out saying, we do not support this, and then an SEC school is doing it, is there any teeth to any kind of rule they can pass? Isn't kind of inherent to college football that there's so little oversight and it's all just separate entities?
Yeah.
I think it's just interesting that I wasn't shocked to see the Big Ten do that, and I supported it.
Mm-hmm.
SEC doing it when LSU's at the forefront of all of this is just interesting to me because I don't get what it means. And then if you're other SEC schools, you're going, wait. So we can't be doing this, but only LSU did it, and it's fine?
Yeah. No, it's it's just unfortunate, man. It's fortunate because the older guys are getting opportunities. If they're not able to make a team, okay, you come back. Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate because the younger guys and girls are gonna lose opportunities, and that's why there needs to be more of an emphasis on junior colleges and stuff too, like football, any junior college sports. There needs to be more of an emphasis there because that's where these 3 stars, 2 stars are gonna get pushed into going to out of high school, and it's unfortunate like, we don't have junior college football in the state of Washington. It blows my mind that we don't have it up here. So I think that's what we're gonna start seeing is that junior college is like the next breeding ground, and then you get to D1, and now that's really the minors, and now you get to the NFL.
Next up, over the weekend, Ketel Marte was spotted at a Phoenix area casino while on rehab at the team's spring training facility in nearby Scottsdale. The timing of this outing was peculiar because the Diamondbacks were playing a home game at the same time Marte was photographed out with friends. Now, again, okay, you're technically rehabbing. You don't have to be there at the game. But the whole situation, super weird. Manager Torey Lovullo was asked about the optics of Marte being spotted out on the town while his team was playing, though.
He was there at Salt River doing everything he was supposed to do. When you're turned loose from the medical team over there, you're allowed to go home and have an evening with your family. So he's free to do whatever he wants. That's how I look at it. As long as he wakes up tomorrow morning and posts and gets his work done at Salt River, which I am certain he will, that's all that matters to me right now.
How would you feel about it if you were the manager of the D-backs?
Did he break any rules? You know, it's not a good look. But he didn't break any team rules. He was, so yeah. I think personally, I think I would have a conversation like, hey man, like you probably want to lay low. It's not a good look for you. I know you didn't do anything wrong, but it can be blown out of proportion. Yeah,
I'd probably take the Dan Wilson approach with this. I might actually do that, which is to like the conversation happens privately, but then publicly, Lovullo's not going to be like, yeah, I mean, this guy, we're really ashamed of him. We're really upset. We're really bothered because then what? Like, ideally for the Diamondbacks, he comes back.
Yeah.
What's that going to be like? So it's a insane situation happening with Arizona, and I don't totally understand it. And on the one hand, like there is an aspect of this where people are like, well, it's none of our business what's going on with someone. On the other hand, there's this very interesting, like, well, sports fans are going to talk about sports, and this is something that I've never quite seen before, which is a player, like a team not knowing where a player is for a long time and then not really knowing what to tell media about it. Like, this whole situation is just unprecedented. It's something I haven't quite seen.
It's brand new.
And I'm not sure how it's going to work out for them. Is he just going to come back and be reintegrated into the team and everything's fine? Is it going to be an issue with teammates? Are they going to power through and be just okay? I don't know. I have no idea. Let's go around the diamond. The Mariners go for another series win tonight against the Phillies. Pregame starts at 5:30 p.m. First pitch at 6:40 p.m. on Seattle Sports. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers Edmonds. Hype Train coming your way next.
Seahawks training camp with Wyman and Bob. Afternoons 2 to 7.
Rashid Shaheed is with us. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Did this feel like the perfect fit?
I just felt like I fit the culture so well. Everybody here just works so hard and is so determined each and every day to improve and get better. Where everybody's excited for work. I'm excited to go out and practice and just be around the guys and just, keep our head down and grind towards, our one goal and mission, and that was to win the Super Bowl.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Lots of dealerships will tell you they'll work hard for your business. At Lee Johnson, we've been proving it for more than 90 years. You can count on us.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Hey, Brock Heward here for my favorite East Side restaurant, Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar, and my good friend Chef John Howie, who wants to buy you dinner. All you need to do is make a reservation Sunday to Thursday after 8 p.m. You come in, enjoy your meal as always, and when you're finished, roll the dice. Roll a 6, and Chef John will buy your dinner. 100% of all food charges will be removed from your bill. How fun is that? You feeling lucky? Then come roll the dice. Make your reservation now at SeaStarRestaurant.com. That's SeaStarRestaurant.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. And Bob, just like me, you had a hip problem. You were recommended surgery. Why did you go see Dr. Wagner first?
I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff.
So you had stem cell on your hip. How does it feel now?
I can do a lot of things I could not do prior to this procedure, and I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now. And I've had friends that have gone to see Dr. Wagner. They had the same experience, whether they were dealing with a hip, a knee, an elbow, a shoulder. Everybody walking out of there feels like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Before you choose surgery, do what Bob and I did. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
Motorcycle accident cases require a thorough investigation by a team of experienced legal professionals if they have any chance of being successful. Insurance companies, juries, and even the police tend to assume the worst about motorcycle riders. Get help from an experienced team of attorneys that have successfully resolved hundreds of motorcycle accident cases over the past 30 years. Call Davis Law Group for a free legal consultation or get my free book on motorcycle accidents at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Nobody gets you closer to the action at Seahawks training camp than the home of the Seahawks.
I see you, boy!
Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's Kirk Herbstreit. Before kickoff starts, I like a room that looks ready and plays tough. Fresh paint, strong coverage, and a finish that can handle a full season of Saturday celebrations.
Bare Ultra Interior Paint has an extra durable finish that holds up from game time to the off-season. It covers in fewer coats, goes on smooth, and helps walls stay looking new longer. Game-ready defense with coverage that goes the distance. Bare Ultra, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Summer is for letting it rip.
Swung on and missed, ripped it right by him. 7 scoreless innings. Marvelous Miller again.
Summer is for showing out.
Swing and a miss. Woo, 6 up and 6 down.
Summer is for Mariners baseball.
Logan Gilbert, he's knocked down a dozen in a row.
So call your favorite Walter and head to T-Mobile Park because our pitchers are rolling. From George Kirby to Senor Smoke.
Up in the attic at 101. nothing but the Express tonight for Andres Munoz.
Matilda would be proud. Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Don't miss out on another great interleague series at T-Mobile Park. Julio Rodriguez and the Mariners are squaring off against Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies. And the action continues tonight at 6:40 and tomorrow afternoon at 1:10 with a special midweek matinee. Get your tickets for this marquee matchup at mariners.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, talking football, talking Seahawks with Bleacher Reports. James Palmer coming up in about 15 minutes. Right now, let's head to the station for Hype Train. I'm just going to build off of our last conversation. You cannot play in college once you sign with an NFL team.
It's a wrap.
This is, of course, stemming from...
wrap.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be able to play. You got to move on with your life. Go be a GA or something if you don't make the team. Get into coaching or something. But we gotta look after our youth, man. And we're not doing that right now.
Protect the children.
Protect the children. They're already getting all these guys transferring. The transfer portal's jacking up their chances. Now you got some guy who couldn't make a roster trying to go back. Nah, man, you should be done.
Bump boarding that train. Curtis, you cannot play again in college once you sign with an NFL team. Are you boarding?
Boarding this train. It's called get a job.
Seriously?
Yeah. Go join the workforce, buddy. It's over for you.
Get a job. Yeah. I have nothing else to add. I'm gonna board this one as well. I'll aboard this train because it's just to echo everything you guys have said. I know you still technically have eligibility, but what are we doing, man? You were just in an NFL camp, and now you're coming back at 37 years old to play with these kids?
What I'm wondering...
No, he's not really 37.
Our guy, Brock Heward, he graduated early.
Now listen.
And has a year of eligibility left at UW.
Well, it could be anywhere.
It's not like he played for a long time in the NFL. Like, he could maybe go back, right? At 50, you think he could sling it?
Yeah, I think
he'd be sore as heck.
I think Brock would have to be airlifted from the field, but I think he could get you a touchdown drive.
He would think he could lead like a 2-minute drill.
Yeah.
He would think he could throw for 400, and it's like, nah, dude, these kids are monsters out on the field.
Brock's been on the ground for a long time.
Love Brock. Love him to death. He ain't leading no drive in the NFL.
He's gonna wear
in the NFL? No, college football.
College, not even college.
I think he could still throw a touchdown.
Some young bulls out there. What are we talking about? We talking like
he would die, but I think he could.
Some young.
I think a quick release.
You know what would be hilarious to see is he'd wear the play calling wristband, but then he'd have to wear readers to see it.
Oh, snaps.
Stacey's about to spit her water.
Get him off you, Brock.
She's dying.
Spit my coffee.
Oh, snaps.
Oh, my God. The Mariners take this series from the Phillies. Game 2 today at 6:40. George Kirby on the mound. Bump, you boarding?
Yeah, I'm aboard. I'm on this thing, man. I think they're going to build off of what they did yesterday. Cal's not going to hit 3 home runs, okay?
That's crazy to think he won't.
He's not going to do it. He's only done it once his whole career at any level. But this is a big opportunity, man. I'm sending the good vibes out there. Builds off of what you did yesterday. They get it done.
Still laughing thinking about Brock.
Wearing his readers on the field.
And then doing one of these. It's like you called the wrong plays. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought, okay, I see it now. The Mariners take the series from the Phillies. Curtis, you boarding?
Yeah, they're taking the series from the Phillies. We're boarding this train. Hey, El Hombre. Hey, Shield Kapadia. Hey, Benjamin Solak. You Philly boys, we're on your head. Yeah. Yeah, they're taking this series.
I'm boarding this train. I just feel good. I'm riding the train, feeling the vibes. Now, will you board this one? So far, you guys have both been aboard the first 2 hype trains. This one a little trickier. So next one in, Cal Raleigh is back.
Oof.
That's tough.
Nah, I ain't on this one. He ain't back.
Wow, what a hater.
I mean, all he did was hit 3 bombs last night, but
in one game.
I'm gonna need to see a few more games put together. I think he's in the process of being back, but I can't take one game, which he's done something he's never done before, probably never do it again, and say, yeah, he's good to go.
Cal Raleigh's back. Bump not boarding. He said, last night was incredible, but I'm just gonna need to see a little more from Cal. Curtis, are you boarding?
It's a great performance. Maybe the performance of the season offensively for the Mariners. But yeah, it's one night out of 162. We've seen a lot of guys have a great performance one night out of 162. Weston Wilson hit for the cycle last year. Weston Wilson.
The Weston Wilson that won them that game along with Logan Gilbert against the Yankees.
Weston Wilson, who looks the most like a baseball player.
Yeah,
on that roster.
I
he's
see
got
that
the look.
for sure.
Results leave plenty to be desired, but he looks like it. I'm not going to say that Cal Raleigh's back. Not yet. We're not boarding this train. I'd love to board it. I want to be on that train, but not today.
Now, what if I told you that Cal Raleigh, in his last 7 games, hang on, let me go back. I'm on the wrong page. Now, what if I told you?
This is going to be a great anecdote.
Now, what if I told you that Cal, in his last 7, 333. Last 15, 205. Who cares about average? But he's back to slugging. He's slugging 545. Last 30, 438. I'm just saying, is 2025 Cal Raleigh back? No, because I don't think we'll ever see him again. Is 2024 Cal Raleigh getting here? I think so.
Is he getting here?
No, seriously, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Go look at his batted balls. 108 miles per hour for that. Is he getting here?
Is he getting here?
108 miles per hour off the bat for that first home run. 107 off the bat against the Cubbies.
Who are you convincing?
Had a 98 mile per hour single.
She's convincing herself.
No, I'm not. I'm telling you guys, if the one thing you were tracking for Cal outside of his average, which will never be good, I'm sorry, Cal, it's hard hits. It is so below league average this year. And if you isolate to the last 2-3 weeks, it's been creeping up.
So you're boarding, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm saying 2024 Cal Raleigh's here.
Dang.
We needed someone to board.
No, we didn't.
We needed some spice. Next up. I'm going to be so let down. September is the best month.
Oh, man. I mean, because we've done this before. And I think we went with May.
I don't know who we
or March.
Or April.
I don't know who we is.
Because you got, March Madness going on.
Start of baseball season. Masters.
Yeah.
NBA and NHL playoffs.
My birthday.
Man.
NFL draft.
But football season, man.
Okay, but I need you guys to expand it beyond
Football
not
season.
to chime in when it's not my turn on the hype train. I do need
That's
you.
ever stopped you.
I do need you to.
First
I
time
want
here.
you to expand it beyond. It is not the sports month. It's September's the best month.
Oh, wow. Just in general.
It's for everything.
All right. Well, sports is my life, so that's like automatically where my brain goes.
Well, it can include sports, but expand it to be pumpkin spice lattes are out now.
Yeah.
Bump doesn't really do pumpkin spice lattes.
I do cold brew and mushroom coffee now. All right, we'll do it.
No, but
Why
you don't
not?
believe. No, you don't believe
September.
it. You don't believe it.
It's fine. It's fine. September.
Is it because it's the start of the NFL season?
Yes. And college football. And your boy makes a few more dollars in the fall.
Let me tell you what. Thursdays, Bump's favorite day of the week in September.
We should have. We're spoiling the interview. We taped with James Palmer ahead of time. He's the Thursday Night Football insider. We should have told him that his Bump's unironically favorite day of the week is Thursday.
I still can't believe that. And you stood 10 toes down. When Curtis and I were like, Bump, are you sure? You were like, I love Thursday.
I love Thursday.
I get to hang out with my friends.
Talk ball all day, get paid to do it, and then just finish off on Friday. We're good.
It's not the best day of the week.
Not for you.
September's the best month. Bump is boarding. A little reluctantly at first, but I think he believes it. Curtis.
I don't know. If I have to be convinced that it's the best month, I don't think it's the best month.
Well, you just have a lot of good choices.
I'm not going to board this train.
Okay, that's lame. Why? Tell me why.
I mean, it means it's the end of summer, which summer is my favorite season.
You seem like you'd get sunburned easily.
No, I don't. It's because I'm half Portuguese. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Remember when I asked you were...
if I was Hispanic or not? It's like, I'm not, actually.
No, I didn't say, are you?
Or
I
Latino?
I said, oh, you're like half Latino.
It's like, no, not at all.
That's not even the top 3 dumbest thing I've ever said. You're not... What's the best month?
I'll go like November or December.
That's a great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will accept November and December as excellent.
You
Like
get great
number 2 and 3
holidays in
picks.
there.
I'm boarding with Bump. September is my favorite month. I can't wait for it to get here. I'm so excited.
I knew that was going to be the answer.
I'm going to get a pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah.
It's the start of the NFL season. Like Bump said, it's the start of college football. You can wear coats again. Everything's so fun. I hate summer.
So fun.
That's
Remember
dramatic.
that time you showed up to the building on like a 70-degree day in a winter coat and winter boots? And I was like, did you check the weather at all?
No.
It's going to be great today.
Well, I didn't realize that. And it was one of those tricky days because in early September, sometimes it'll randomly be like 80.
Yeah. Well, you basically wanted to show off an outfit that
Yeah,
day.
I got a new coat.
And I was like, it's going to be fine today. I'm going to wear shorts.
I was dripping sweat. Well, speaking of the start of the NFL season, it's just around the corner. So let's talk about it with James Palmer. He joins us next.
Brock and Salk at Seahawks training camp. Morning 6 to 10.
So Jackson's an artist that paints a canvas maybe a little different than the textbook artist. Give me a couple ways you do that.
I love to play free and creative. For me to just be able to play fast, kind of have a plan, but my counters have to be ready. So just always just telling myself, play fast, and let the game come to you.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Klein Jewelers is all about celebrating big anniversaries. What's a big anniversary? Year 1, year 5, year 25. If you forgot about it, you'll find out just how big it is. No matter the year, Klein Jewelers is here to help you celebrate with something beautiful. Maybe it's a 3-stone ring that honors your past, present, and future. Maybe it's a new band to stack or the diamond upgrade you've been dreaming about. And while we love anniversaries, we're here for all life's special moments too. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. Your jeweler for life.
Hey, Mike Salk here for Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and not all getaways are going to earn 4 diamonds, but you can experience the 4 Diamond Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, where the breathtaking views, elevated dining, and world-class gaming and entertainment make the perfect escape. Also, check out upcoming shows. You got 80s pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th, or local rock legends Queensryche on October 10th. Tickets at snocasino.com. You can elevate your next getaway. That's 4 Diamond and Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Every job's different, so why not your equipment plan? Rent it when you need it. Buy it when you're ready. Levitt Machinery makes it easy to get to work. Need a lift? Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
Dave Wyman here, brand new member of Harborstone Credit Union, and I got my PNW Cashback checking account for free. No fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. Gas, groceries, coffee, travel, lunch, all categories count toward your cash back. Open your free account online like I did. Go to harborstone.com/cash or visit one of their 29 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. With burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and local service, our promise to the Puget Sound remains the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on Wash and Wax, you can get 3 Meguiar's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-762-6565. That's 800-762-6565.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners pummeled the Phillies in yesterday's series opener thanks to 5 home runs from Seattle, including 3 from Cal Raleigh, who became the first Mariner ever to hit 3 in a game at T-Mobile Park and the first since Edgar to hit 3 at home. George Kirby gets the start for Game 2 tonight at 6:40 p.m. Pre-game show starts at 5:30 right here on Seattle Sports. The Big Ten plans to pass a rule today that will stop NFL players who have NCAA eligibility from returning to college teams, per ESPN. The first player to do so went to the SEC. Tight end Daquan Wright signed back with LSU after being waived by the Browns.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. He's an NFL insider for Bleacher Report and NFL on Prime Video. It's James Palmer joining us now. And James, I'm going to start with the Seahawks, but we got a lot to get to with you. First of all, how's it going?
It's going great, right? We're in the throes of camp. We're starting to maybe,
I know.
Well, it might not be great for certain individuals. I mean, we got a lot of people losing their jobs on Sunday, but it's the nature of the league, and everybody's kind of looking around to see what they can maybe find when cutdown dates come. But it gets us one step closer to the regular season. And
we are so excited to see that regular season open, obviously. Seattle with a rematch against the New England Patriots, kind of that rare Super Bowl rematch. I think it's a little more rare than people think. So I'm going to start with just kind of expectations for the Seahawks season. Unsurprisingly, you can guess where this is going. I think most people this offseason have talked about how the Seahawks have been overlooked, and it's all relative. Everyone's talking about the Seahawks. No one thinks they're going to win 4 games, but they are, I think, kind of taking a back seat to some stacked rosters around the league. Do you think that most of the doubt, if there is doubt about the Seahawks, comes from it just being hard to repeat, or someone in particular like Sam Darnold?
No, I think repeating is the most difficult aspect of it. And I've talked to a number of teams that have been in a position to go out there and have an opportunity to repeat. And there's multiple things that go on in your building. And by the way, I think Hard Knocks has been outstanding, giving us a great look at what goes on with John Schneider and Mike McDonald. Yes, it's been outstanding. And so the reason I bring that up is, how does your coaching staff make sure that the group is as hungry to go after the second one as they did the first one? And not to say that these guys aren't hungry. Like, every team wants to repeat. It's just, you just want it. And there's an aspect of continuously having that drive each and every week. And there's no complacency, and there's no aspect of, oh, well, we won it last year when we did this. Well, you got to oftentimes go a step further, because you have that bullseye on your back each and every week. And teams want to find a way, to knock you off. And they're well aware, and you're not taking anybody by surprise. And then the second part is, I think you change coordinators. Like, you had a pretty sought after offensive coordinator that became a head coach that a lot of teams were really, really interested in. And the strength of this team obviously is a great defense and a defensive minded head coach, but when you make an offensive coordinator change. And, you I don't want to say people still question Sam Darnold, but I would say he doesn't have an extensive track record that you just trust probably wholeheartedly with an offensive coordinator change, even though there is a lot of continuity, and Clint and Brian were on the same staff in San Francisco, and there's a lot of carryover, I'm told, a lot of similar concepts. But at the same time, I think when the team that everybody's talking about is within your division with the Rams, I think that plays a part in it as well.
It's all about trying to get better, and I think that Mike McDonald and John Schneider have done a great job of that. But when you see guys like Terrion Arnold, agree to terms, you got Trayvon Diggs who signed. What do you think they're saying about their secondary? You lose Bud Clark in a preseason game as well. How do you feel about their secondary, and what do you think these moves tell you about what John and Mike McDonald think about the secondary?
Yeah, I think John knew that this was an aspect that he needed to focus on, right? I mean, they win the Super Bowl, and there weren't a whole ton of holes. And he went into the draft, to my understanding, I think, 4 picks I think they originally had when they went into the draft, and they ended up getting more than that by the way they maneuvered. But they had to go after need a little bit more in the draft than John probably likes to. And I would say that's probably an accurate assessment. He likes to reload. He likes to pick best player available. He likes to just be in a position where he can go wherever he really sees fit. And there were some needs, and you saw the attention that they had in the variety of ways they went after it this offseason, that secondary was a need for John and was a need for the way this defense was going to operate. I mean, you lost 2 pretty good corners to Chicago and Philadelphia. So they understood where they were at. I think Nick, if he's ready to come back for week 1, changes the math a little bit just because of how versatile he is. But it was almost like, you were throwing a lot of different pieces at this secondary and relying on a really, really good coach in Mike McDonald to go, all right, what's going to work? What's going to piece this together? I think losing Clark is a big deal. It really is, especially this late in the process when he's out there running with the ones at times. So yeah, I think they've kind of shown you, as aggressive as they've been at that one position, kind of, I don't want to say there's a fear, but there's a need to make sure you can get back to what you're used to playing back there.
Does your gut tell you we see Terrion Arnold this year? I keep going back and forth.
Yeah, I don't think we're having a decision anytime soon. I mean, the court case is beginning of October, and maybe we have an opportunity to get a little bit more clarity with a very, very concerning situation, to put it bluntly. I'm not sure if we do. And I think that's why do we think he's going to eventually be on the Seahawks? Yeah. But is that going to maybe take a minute? Possibly. But obviously sometimes with a lot of these, the league likes to figure out what's going on within the legal system before they come with a ruling. So again, that might compound the length of it a little bit.
Where do you think this receiving core stands? You have JSN, and I think people are waiting to see obviously what this year is going to do. I'm not expecting 1,700 yards. You got the OG Cooper Cup. Nah,
you're not.
Nah. I got to be real, my guy. Maybe 1,400. Give me 14. You got Rashid Shaheed. Bobo goes down. I look across the league and try to compare these guys to other receiving cores, and I see different type of rankings. Where do you think this core stands when you look across the league?
You have arguably the best receiver in football. People are making an argument whether I would think it's either JSN or Puka or Jamar Chase. To me, that would be the 3 that you might make the argument for. You had an ability last year where everybody knew he was getting the football, and you had a really creative offensive coordinator that lined him up all over the place, put him in different spots. Now Jackson's IQ plays a big part in that as well. When I look at the group as a whole, I really like the way they're made up. And I also like the way they like to play offensive football. They like to play 2 tight ends. They like to run a lot of these 2 wide receiver type of route concepts out of those heavy formations and throw out of it. And that's something that Clint was great at. And I think Brian's going to use a lot of the similar type of concepts when he uses it. I think Torrey Horton's kind of like, I don't know if anybody else in the league kind of knows that this is a kid that can actually really play. I mean, when, I host a show with Steve Smith and we break down receivers like crazy, go check out 89 on YouTube, shameless plug. But he absolutely loved Torrey coming out, like really, really liked him a lot. And so can you create a little bit more depth? And obviously Cooper plays a role in how he gets on the field. And again, I'll bring it up. Him in all the meetings and the quarterback meetings and stuff and Hard Knocks is just so cool to see, because a guy that's that smart as a receiver, just kind of helping everybody out on the offensive side of the ball. But my other point is, you now have Rashid Shaheed, who kind of came in mid-season last year and was like swimming a little bit. And it's like, I'm learning everything that's here. And, he knew Clint a little bit, but at the same time, it's now there's an off season and he can be utilized in a wider variety of ways. I would expect that to happen with Shaheed a little bit more, that you see maybe how he's used is kind of expanded here in year 2 with them. And I don't think they would have re-signed him the way they did if they didn't have that plan in place. So I think it's a good group. It's a little thinner than you wanted. I think Bud was always a good piece for sure. But I do think what they do with 2 receivers is so dynamic in the way they put defenses in binds. And really, JSN has shown you, like, there's just aspects of his game that just they'll never change, and they'll always make him so difficult to guard. I mean, like, I was having a conversation with Brian Hartline the other day, who's, coached him at the receiver position at Ohio State, and he was just like, he doesn't have elite speed. He doesn't have elite athletic traits, but he gets open better than anyone in the NFL because he does everything perfect. His feet are perfect. His shoulders are perfect. His hips are perfect. And that'll never change no matter what the coverage you're throwing at him.
Speaking of Hard Knocks, new episode tonight. It's been, I think, a fantastic season so far. All of that said, I've been a little surprised how much Mike Macdonald has been in the spotlight. I thought it would be a little more of the players, and maybe we end up seeing that tonight and obviously with next week's episode. But it's also been very cool to see. And we've interviewed Mike, obviously, and talked at press conferences, but you don't get to sit like a fly on the wall and see those behind-the-scenes conversations. So I think that's been a really cool insight into the head coach here. Now, James, you're obviously well-connected. You've spoken with Mike Macdonald. You know people around the league. So I don't know how much of this was surprising to you. But was there any moment in any of these episodes where you thought, that's pretty cool? I didn't realize that about Mike.
Yeah, I think there was an aspect of him that we're seeing, and this has been kind of known around the league a little bit about how he's wired, but like the thirst for competitive knowledge, if that makes sense. Like, just where can I find a little bit more insight into being a better head coach? Where do I find a little bit more insight to helping create my culture? Where do I find a little bit more insight to help create a competitive atmosphere? I think the part that might be a little bit more of a surprise to some of the people were some of the, on the field, in practice, laying into players the way he was, the way he kind of got after guys during practice, and you saw a little bleep to him a little bit. I think maybe some people that don't know Mike Macdonald that well, maybe that part kind of opened their eyes to how he operates a little bit further. But I think you see a person that, with the 2 things I mentioned, is so cerebral about the process and so intellectual about the process, but at the same time has a lot of competitive juices flowing in him and a lot of competitiveness to him on the practice field. It's kind of a great combination, if you ask me, about the 2.
Getting out of Seattle, it's getting weird in Cleveland, man. It's getting weird. Like, it's been weird, but now we're seeing it Front Street, right? It's getting blasted. Deshaun getting booed. You got his response. How do you think that thing unfolds over there? They've committed to Deshaun the first couple of weeks, away games, so maybe that'll help with the boos. But what do you think happens in Cleveland when it's all said and done?
Yeah, it's been a really difficult situation. Honestly, it's let's just say it, declared by their owner as maybe the worst trade in NFL history. And I covered Deshaun a lot in Houston, and he was one of the best players in football. And obviously there's so much more that surrounds it about off the field and the 27 allegations that are connected to Deshaun. But the $230 million and 3 first-round picks, they almost felt, to my understanding, like we've given up so much, we have to really see if anything's there. And the operation was a big part of it. He just operates everything faster, cleaner, sees defenses better than Shedeur does at this point. I will say, as the competition continued to drag on, I was told that Shedeur started narrowing the gap a little bit further. I think everybody, if you're in that building, would have loved your 5th-round pick to come out and win the job and see if he's the guy. And you got 2 first-round picks in 27 to see if one of these quarterbacks coming out is your future. I think this move right here then kind of solidifies that the quarterback of the future with the Browns is not on the roster right now. But the crazy part is, Deshaun has to be, just because of the financial implications of it. And so right now they're going to go with the veteran, and I think it's easier to go with the vet to the youngster as opposed to the other way around. I think the optics, in all honesty, might even be worse. If you had Shedeur have the job, Shedeur played terrible, and then you just have to trot Deshaun out there. You know what I mean? It just looks even more of a difficult situation you're dealing with. So We'll see if they can get anything out of him for what they, and many people, let's just remember, they weren't the only team vying for Deshaun Watson. The Saints thought they had him at one point. The Falcons thought they had him at one point, and they came in with the guarantees at the end. The sad part is there's so many really good things to think about on that roster, right? Like a lot of really good young talent that's there, and they're starting to put together a couple of drafts here. But this is going to be the focal point there, specifically with the fan base and specifically with all of us in the media of going, this has just been an ugly situation all the way around, and it doesn't seem like that's ending, in all honesty, anytime soon because he has to stay on the roster.
Like Bump, I'm going to stay out of Seattle for my next question. I think the NFC West, as does pretty much everyone, is the best division in football. The NFC North, though, is one of the more interesting to me, where you can kind of make a case for any one of these teams winning it, whether it's the Lions with the easiest schedule, whether it's the Packers being young and full of talent, whether it's the Bears, who we feel like we've just been constantly talking about making that turn, and Ben Johnson being a great play caller, or the Vikings now with Kyler. And I'm not quite sure what to make of it. Like, I don't know what's real and what's not, and what to buy into and what not to. So how do you see this division kind of taking shape, and who do you believe in the most?
Yeah, it's a great question because I went to the Packers last preseason game and was spending a lot of time on their sideline, and there's a thought that maybe all four teams get in the postseason. I mean, there really is, and I'll start in Green Bay. The philosophy changed at wide receiver. No longer by committee. It's just like, hey, we have three guys in Watson, Reed, and Golden, and they think if Golden, their former first-round pick, can really play the way they think he can play, they're like, he can be the best three in football. Will Jordan Love finally take that jump to elite? I thought it was really fun to watch them go after Patrick Surtain. Teams don't do that. Teams don't throw at the best corner in football very regularly, and they went at him regularly, and they found success. And so can they sustain until Micah gets back? I think that's obviously a question there, but everybody wants to see if Jordan Love can make that final jump that everybody expects him to make, and I think they're a really good team. I think people are just forgetting about Detroit. That is a physical football team. The offensive line was just not what they're used to having this past year. It's always been a strength, and then it ended up being, one of their weaker spots. And I think it's going to get back to being a little bit more of a strength for them. And, Goff is so underrated, and man, do they have great skill guys. Can they stay healthy on the defensive side down the stretch? And I think we just kind of all forgot about Detroit. I think you mentioned the schedule. I think that helps. And so with Chicago, I just think there's so much to like, and you mentioned Ben Johnson. I think the world of him. We are really relying on talent at the skill positions, if that makes sense. I think Colston Loveland can be outstanding. I think Luther Burton after the catch can be incredible. I think Rome Odunze can be a really, really good number one. All of that said, none of them ever really proven it yet, right? So we're relying on Ben unleashing all of them, and I think they obviously have had high expectations. But unlike Detroit, where we've seen everybody do it, and we've seen everybody do it consistently. And are they going to get a million turnovers as a defense? I'm not sure. And with Minnesota, that's probably, I mentioned Green Bay, but that's probably the best 1, 2, 3 receiver group in football, with Juwan Jennings being their 3. I think that's just above the rest of the 3s. Can Kevin O'Connell get Kyler Murray to play from the pocket? He really thinks Kyler is better in the pocket than most people assume and believe when he watches the film. But he didn't win the job handedly, and they called it early, to my understanding, so he could just continuously get all the reps to have this thing grow. And that's kind of why they called it early. It wasn't that he just blew the doors off of J.J. McCarthy.
God, such a good breakdown of a fascinating division. We've been talking about it a ton. He is Bleacher Report and Thursday Night Football NFL insider James Palmer, kind enough to join us. Thanks, James.
Thanks, James.
Thank you, guys. Good chat with you.
The 2026 NFL season kicks off September 9th at Lumen Field, and we want to send one of you and 3 friends to be there in person to the regular season opener. The defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks open the season against the Patriots in a rematch of Super Bowl 60. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app to find out how you can enter. If you don't already have the app, you can text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. You can also just get it from the App Store. It's free. It's a free app. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, August 31st. Let's take a look around the NFL. We've got another Seahawks Hard Knocks teaser for tonight's episode. This one features Trevon Diggs meeting with John Schneider.
Because we do have a style of play, and after your injury, you feel much better now, lack of power. You felt that lack of power?
Yeah, like last year, I wasn't
powerful. I wasn't feeling power that in my leg that that I needed. I could go, like I could go out there, but wasn't really effective. It wasn't really feeling twitchy and powerful. And so this year I had the opportunity to strength train and work on my skills and stuff. And
when was the last time you had a full off season?
This one.
Since like
22.
22? Wow. We're here to support the players and the coaches in every manner we possibly can.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Appreciate it.
Now, 22 was the last season he was fully healthy. It was not the 11 interception season. That was 2021. But in 2022, appeared and started in all 17 games for Dallas. Has not started. I mean, he has one season of 11 games, but otherwise hasn't really appeared more than 7 games in a season since then.
Yeah, when you're not able to prepare your body, that's going to happen. I remember I had a bad offseason. I was hurt. I tried to rush back. My quads didn't feel strong enough. The glutes, nothing did. And when you don't feel comfortable or explosive out there, you're hesitant. You're not your true self. So hopefully, this offseason was good to him. And when we see him on the field, he makes some plays.
Now, with Terrion Arnold, their other free agent cornerback signing, you got to wait until that case moves forward. And the next time he has a hearing is early October. So we could not see Terrion on the field at all this year, but certainly not until well into October. With Diggs, it's more about can he get into football shape. Knowing that, Bump, what are fair expectations for him? What kind of role is he giving for the Seahawks this year for you?
I don't know. I think he starts maybe as like a third down back, clear passing downs. We know that he had a great season a few years back with 11 interceptions. I like his instincts when he's in coverage. So I think start him off, third down back, and see if he can grow from there.
Sticking with the Seahawks, NFL owners will meet tomorrow in Atlanta to vote on the sale of the franchise to the Kosla family, so it will become official almost. It won't finalize the sale. It's expected to take place next week when they sign all the documentation.
It's going to happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, but
it's formality.
But once they finalize it, so they'll vote on it, and then it'll be official when they sign the documents. Then I would anticipate why this is newsworthy is that we'll actually hear from the Kosla family. Like they haven't done like a meeting with reporters or sat down and talked about the team because the sale isn't finalized. So
I don't own it yet.
So if you're wondering like, what are they like? I want to hear from them. That's why it's newsworthy to me.
Yeah, they're just waiting. Wait until everything is signed, sealed, delivered. Then we'll get an idea about how they're going to run this thing.
Yeah.
I hope they praise John. They praise Mike McDonald. They praise the culture that's already here. And just try to to support. Let the football people do football things. You make some additions to Lumen and all the other little things.
Yeah.
The weight room apparently isn't great here in Seattle. Just make some additions there. Have you seen Denver's new facility?
No.
It is ridiculous.
Just crazy.
It's
the brand new looking.
The best thing I've ever seen in my life. Honestly.
I need to
check
Google
it out.
this. It's really hard not to Google it right now, but I am live on air, Stacey. Focus. Let's go to your Giants and figure out how things are progressing for their top receiver, Malik Neighbors. Head coach John Harbaugh was cautiously optimistic about Neighbors' availability for week 1.
Yeah, I just don't want to make any kind of statements like that. I think it's reasonable to assume that. Those are all kind of things that you can assume. It's just based on watching the guy practice. But, I know the only thing I know more than you guys know is that what the docs and trainers tell me as far as his rehab. So, and that's doing well. He's doing really well with that. He's strong. He's in a good place. But how he gets through practice, how ready he is to play and protect himself, is really based on practice. So you're watching practice too, and you can see it.
Bump, this feels to me to be one of the most important or impactful injuries that we're all watching for heading into the season. George Kittle, for instance, was activated from the PUP list for the 49ers. But the 49ers, not only with the other talents that they have, but kind of where Kittle is, they don't fundamentally need him to have like a chance, right? The Giants not having Malik Neighbors as much depth as they have competing in that room, that's massive. That is absolutely massive. They desperately need him to be healthy.
Yeah, Neighbors, and when he is healthy, he's one of the better receivers in the game, honestly. And when you have a young quarterback with Jackson Dart, you want to give him as many options as you can. You did bring over Darnell Mooney to help out Odell Beckham, who's been having a quiet, good training camp. No one's really talking about him, especially not out west. But yeah, that's big. It's all about making sure Jackson Dart is supported properly. And he's a big part of that.
All right, let's head to the AFC. This time we're looking at the Browns, who have named Deshaun Watson as their starting quarterback. That's the old news. Here's the new news. ESPN's Dan Orlovsky says Browns fans shouldn't bother showing up as long as the team sticks with Deshaun.
I'm being dead serious.
I'm being dead serious when I say this. Browns fans should not go to games. I agree with that. Why would I go to this game?
This is the tipping point, Dan?
Yeah, yes. At some point, there has to be a tipping point, though, Shay. At some point, there has to be. And I maybe I'm being solo in this, but to watch that press conference and to hear him say, I get more love in road games, what would you expect to love to come from?
Now, Deshaun has since said that I probably shouldn't have said that and have kind of apologized or walked it back. But, I mean, the press conference itself the first time around is pretty telling. How would you feel as a Browns fan? And what do you make of the whole situation? You asked Jesse about it earlier.
I don't think any Browns fan
James.
is happy with the situation, right? You bring over a guy who has all these allegations. You guarantee him all this money. Your owner says it's probably the worst trade in NFL history. But I think eventually he won't be in that starting spot. And I think if you just love your team, the other guys, then you go out there and support them. Listen, I wonder if Dan Orlovsky were the owner of the Cleveland Browns and he made this deal, he wouldn't be sitting there saying Browns fans don't show up. But because you got no skin in the game, yeah, you can sit there and say that. And look, I don't agree with nothing that Deshaun Watson did, but they paid him all this money. They got to at least see if he can win them a couple ball games. And with that, you're going to get ridiculed because of his past. You can do what you want. Browns fans, he ain't going to be your quarterback for long.
What I need to know coming your way at 12:45. Get your questions in, 866-979-3776. Before we get to that, the debut of Cougs Weekly with head coach Kirby Moore, interviewed by Michael Bumpus, coming up next.
A breaker preparing for incoming. And Lord mercy, the big dumper's been waiting a Smoky Mountain minute for this payload. Over.
Gone! His first 3-homer game of his career.
This is where you hear every
Into the lower deck and right. What a night for the big dumper.
on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal Raleigh, a monster night.
After years of football and the injuries that go with it, my first thought was always go get surgery. Hey, it's Dave Wyman, but after a consultation with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, my eyes were open to an alternative to surgery, and I'm talking about stem cell therapy. Well, and my buddy and co-host Bob Stelton, also in pain, and decided to go see Dr. Wagner.
I had a hip issue from 14 years of jiu-jitsu.
How's the pain now?
Everything I did before, I can do just as well. Hitting the heavy bag, sparring, rolling, all of that is back in play. This whole thing has been such a pleasant surprise because I really was of the mindset, I'm going to have to go under the knife. I'm going to have to get surgery. And this really saved me from that. I could not be happier with the results.
Whether it's a hip like Bob had, a shoulder, a knee, a wrist, an ankle, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine.
Do it. You will not regret it.
Hey, get the facts, hear from all the patients I've talked to, and schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Want to see the defending Super Bowl champion Seahawks open the 2026 season against the Patriots September 9th?
Seattle Sports is giving away 4 tickets.
Holy catfish! All you have to do is open the Seattle Sports app and enter.
You can enter once a day from August 25th through August 31st to boost your chances.
Full details at seattlesports.com/win.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Football, baby! Nobody gets you closer to the action at Seahawks training camp than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, all beds are on sale during our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe for a limited time, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Not all roofs are created equal, and not all warranties are either. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Right now, take advantage of free lifetime Golden Pledge warranties on all GAF shingle installations and save up to $3,000 or choose 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Summertime savings won't last forever. Protect your home with a roof you can count on for decades. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Experience the thrill of the Kitsap Fair and Stampede, August 26th through the 30th. Keep the excitement going all week long with high-energy live concerts featuring country and rock artists, including classic American rock band Jefferson Starship and Canadian country artist Allie Walker. The Kitsap Fair and Stampede runs August 26th through the 30th. Don't miss it. Get your tickets today and all the info at kitsapfair.org. That's kitsapfair.org.
Every Tuesday at 12:30, it's Cougs Weekly.
It's caught! Washington State strikes again!
With Cougars head football coach Kirby Moore.
Players working really hard, working to improve. Obviously want to start fast.
On your flagship home of Washington State Cougars football, Seattle Sports. Here's your host, Cougars legend, Michael Bumpus.
What's up? I'm Michael Bumpus. Welcome to Cougs Weekly. We're joined now by the new head coach, Coach Moore. How we doing?
We're good. We're good. Just finished up fall camp. Had a great night practice last evening and first day of school, right? Go Cougs.
What's it like making this this thing yours? Obviously, there's been a bunch of great coaches that come through Wazoo. Good tradition there, but you got to kind of make this thing yours. How's that transition been?
Yeah, really, you take your experiences, and for me, right, playing for Coach Peterson, seeing him adopt, and take that culture somewhere else and kind of change it. Being at Fresno for 6 years, being at Missouri, and how the team comes together in this era of college football, all those things you consider. But at the same time, you got to be yourself. And that's been the most important thing for me throughout this offseason. But we're really excited where we're at.
Tell me about your personnel. Wazoo, I tell people all the time, like, man, we're going to be a good ball club about 4 to 6 times a decade. You get the right group together, you make a run for this thing. What's it been like recruiting? And talk to me about your personnel over there.
Yeah, first, give a ton of credit to Brad Larondo, our general manager. He was the CEO of the Every True Tiger Collective for us at Missouri and part of bringing that roster together. So getting him here, just, time is of the essence. Having those conversations, keeping the 57 players from last season, We had 14 starters in the bowl game. We were able to keep 11. And then we had over 40 transfer visits in a matter of 2 weeks. So just the amount of speed dating that was going on, finding the right fits for Washington State. He did a tremendous job of helping getting those scheduled and our needs from a program standpoint. I think we really established the line of scrimmage on defense. And then in the secondary, found a lot of good players who have experience. Offensively, you look at the tight end position, Jack Peterson, things he did at UCLA, some of the receivers that we added, and then adding Caden Pinnock to the quarterback competition.
You get to do something that I don't think any coach has ever done before, which is your very first game, you get thrown into the Apple Cup. Like, what's this whole experience like for you?
Yeah, it's surreal. It's very few times in life that you could be the first. And for us, we're rewriting history from, first Apple Cup to open the season to the new Pac-12 conference. And so it's an exciting time. We got to take it one step at a time and make sure we're maximizing every day. We got a lot of goals as a program, but to make any of those goals happen, we have to maximize all the work days.
Man, I saw a clip on Instagram the other day. You gave 2 walk-ons, like 2 or 3 walk-ons, maybe more walk-ons, some scholarships, man. I love when things like that happen. There's a few players that got scholarships when I was there. What was that moment like for you and those kids?
Yeah, it was great. Just the amount of work that those guys have put into this program. You want to make sure they understand how important they are to our future moving forward, and a lot of impact by those guys on special teams. I know everyone wants to focus on offense and defense, but when you look at Sean Burrs, Jack Ellison, Gavin Fugate, Jack Proctor, all 4 of those guys have had an impact on special teams, and they are great Cougs.
Tell me about this defense. I've spoken to you a couple of times about this offense, but what about the defense?
Well, first, Coach Bray has done an excellent job of just bringing everything together. I think he, just lets those guys play fast. There's a ton of communication that has to happen on defense in college football. Just the number of sets that you can see empty, FIB, unbalanced. Number of guys coming back, but at the same time, there's a ton of transfers, right, who are going to be out there early. You look at the edges, I think Linus Sunk and Matthias McClain have done a great job of pressuring the quarterback throughout the offseason. We got to be able to stop the run, right, and put pressure on the quarterback, and that's shown up throughout the offseason. Keith Brown coming back, right, from the injury last season. From a leadership standpoint, he has been awesome, getting everyone pointed in the same direction. The secondary, right, Jalil Tucker, Kamari Terrell, CJ Solis-Lumar, at the corner position have been really good. There's some length there. Want to challenge guys for sure, throwing the football. And then Jalen Thomas and Jeremiah Bernard have really stood out at the safety position.
I saw the unveiling of the new locker room, and I was jealous. I'm like, man, them boys got it good down there. What role did you play in the construction and maybe the design of the locker room?
You got to give that credit, Bump, to the administration and President Cantwell and John Harlow. That was started long before, right, that process, and I got here, and the great alumni support. You know how much time going into fall camp, too, the team spends in the locker room. So I will say the first couple nights I had to go check on those guys, make sure we didn't have too many guys sleeping in that locker room because they're getting pretty comfortable.
Yeah, training camp, I used to live in that dang locker room for sure. You know how that is. What are your thoughts on the new Pac-12? You got some different teams, maybe some teams you're familiar with as well, Fresno State. Just talk to me about what you expect out of the league this year.
I think it's going to be a really exciting brand of football. A ton of really good teams in tradition and teams who've gone to bowl games, whether you look at, right, Boise obviously experienced there, Fresno State and the number of championships that they've won, what San Diego State's done, Colorado State, Utah State, Oregon State. There's going to be a ton of really good football. There's a ton of really good coaches. The game's about the players. So, right, all of us from a coaching standpoint, it's going to be trying to get, offense, defense, and special teams playing collective football and winning football.
Expectations, the goals. I'm sure you know how the football culture is, man. There's sayings, there's charts, there's goals everywhere. Just give me an insight of kind of what you're preaching to your team and what you expect this year.
Yeah, we want to compete for championships. It's really throughout fall camp. We talked about establishing the line of scrimmage. We want to be a tough football team. And to do that, you got to be able to stop the run the ball, and cover kicks, and make sure our best players are on special teams, right? Covering those punts, covering those kickoffs, helping us from a field position standpoint. And then it's about creating explosive plays and taking care of the football, right? When you look at the statistics, Washington State over the last 5 years, when we've won explosive plays and the turnover margin, we've won about 90% of the time. So there's a lot of other things that you can track, but those are the main things that we're focusing on that we can control on a game in, game out basis.
Well, lastly, man, how is the family adjusting to the Palouse? Have you found your favorite restaurant? What's life like out there for you?
Ton of good food. For me, gosh, the amount of times I've been to Old European for breakfast is probably in the 30s. It's up there. Black Cypress, a lot of dinners there. Wife loves the steak, and daughter just had her first day of school last Wednesday. She's at Pullman Christian, so we're off to a good start. I'm actually going for pickup here at 3:10 and trying to find a little bit of balance and get her around the facility.
All right, Coach. Well, that's all I got for you, man. Cougs Weekly, we're just getting going every week. Going to sit down with the head man himself and break down some games, man. I'm excited. I can't wait to see your team out there on the football field.
Thank you, Bump. I appreciate you. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. That's next.
Wyman and Bob at Seahawks training camp. Afternoons 2 to 7.
Byron Murphy is with us. There's always room for improvement in your game. Like, no matter how good you think you are, like, even in the run, like, I know I'm a dominant player in the run. Like, I know I'm a master at it, but it's still always room for improvement, room to keep working and keep getting better. That's my biggest thing, man. I'm trying to get double-digit sacks this year, so this offseason I really focus on pass rush.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 31st, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years for new Xfinity customers. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Mariners and Phillies tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Michael is in his 70s, and he was dealing with an injury.
I had tears in my rotator cuff. Just the discomfort of going about everyday life. Day-to-day things were not comfortable or almost impossible, but just being inactive was troubling.
He was in a great deal of pain.
I started trying to learn how to brush my teeth with my left hand, and you can't do it. It was ridiculous.
Searching for answers, Michael found Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, where he underwent stem cell therapy.
You know, I played basketball Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and so I'm getting my shot back. It's not back to where it was, but hey, before I couldn't even do anything. So 100% improvement of what it was.
Wow, that's great to hear. Would you recommend stem cell therapy to others?
I can share without a doubt that it helped me, and I'm grateful for that.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Truck started slow. Battery might be toast.
Slow starts are the first sign of heat damage to your battery. We'll test it, no charge.
Thanks. And if it is dead?
We'll set you up with a new, fully warranted battery, some up to 5 years, and we'll recycle the old one.
Thanks for the rundown. Lead the way.
Get free battery testing, charging, and recycling at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. And those questions in now. TJ says, what I need to know, well, will Stacy be sitting with Jed Fish every week to dig deep into the X's and O's? I will not. I will not be doing that. However, you will be doing that with Kirby.
Because UW too cheap. They ain't pay for it. Cougs, we pay for this.
Totally. Totally. Now, Matt and I, we still haven't gotten our worst Huskies ever podcast off the ground. We're working on it, but it's going on the back burner.
I really think they have a shot. You know, their quarterback,
You got it.
old ball tosser.
You got it.
The old rock thrower.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a great year this year.
Hell yeah.
He is, though, honestly.
How was that interview with Kirby, though?
That was
I mean,
good.
it sounded great, but like, how was it sitting with them? You guys are still.
Well, they weren't.
Season
in the
hasn't
same room.
underway. Right. Well.
Yeah.
Okay.
She has no idea what's going on.
Stop.
Neither of you could have been wearing pants. We don't know.
That's weird. I didn't make it weird. You made it weird.
No, it was good. It's going to get better as the season goes. You start talking about opponents and, reviewing the game and all that good stuff. But good start.
866-979-3776. What I need to know, who wins the Apple Cup, says the 360. Speaking of the Cougs.
Who's going to win that thing? Who's going to win it?
I think
we're going to win
know.
the next 10.
No.
Next 10.
No. It's going to be the Huskies.
Next 10.
And I'm not just saying that as a Husky. I'm
You
saying
don't even
that
know
as a
anything
ball
about
knower.
your team.
It doesn't matter.
You know nothing
I want
about your team.
UW to win the Apple Cup.
Go Dogs.
And that's two of us that think that the Huskies will win. So look at that. What now?
Look at that.
866-979-3776. Someone wants to know if the Seahawks will sign Bobby Wagner just so he can get his 60 tackles.
No. They'll sign him at the end of his career so he can
retire.
So he can retire as Seahawk. But no, Mike ain't bringing in nobody just because.
Yeah, if he's getting 60 tackles, that means he's starting most games.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a good chunk of playing time.
I hope somebody signs Bobby so
me
he can
too.
become the leading tackler all time. But
Yeah.
I think he will get signed.
Yeah.
But not here.
I mean, either way, if he were to not get them, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't change it. But you're right. In terms of the
I
record
remember,
books, yes.
what was it? It was like Rich Eisen a year or two ago who was like, I've always said Bobby Wagner's a Hall of Famer. And people are like, yeah, everyone said that. You're not alone in that opinion.
That's my
He's
favorite.
a pretty much, no doubt, slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famer.
I saw someone tweet not literally the other day, but the other day, like, why is no one talking about Cal Raleigh's drop-off? And I was like, where are you looking?
It's all anybody's talking about.
This was a texter?
Have you been online? No, it was like a tweet that I saw, but it's just people that live in, like, if you live in a bubble and then you just have a sports thought and you're like, I'm not really seeing a lot of this. I'm not seeing a lot of people talk about this
You ain't
this
been
year.
looking hard enough.
Yeah. No one's talking about
right
how
there in front of
PCA could win NL MVP. No one's talking about that, but I am. 866-9, but I am. 979-3776. You can add one bat all time to the Mariners lineup. Who do you choose? All time is crazy.
Barry Bonds.
Yeah. Barry Bonds juiced out of his mind.
2001 Barry Bonds.
That's exactly who I want to add.
I'll bring Griffey back.
I mean, yeah.
Sure, yeah,
feel good.
1997
No, totally,
Griffey.
Yeah, 1997 Griffey, 1,000%. However, but what if I gave you 70 home runs? Yeah. What? Okay. Forget all time because all of us are going to have roughly the same, like, 5 answers. What about this year? This year only MLB wide. You got to add one bat from another team.
Shohei, because you get an arm, too.
No, but you don't get the arm.
All right, Shohei.
Yeah.
Same answer. Curtis, you got to add one bat from another team.
If he's healthy, Aaron Judge.
I promise you nothing. You're taking them as they are right now. So, like, Bump couldn't get Shohei pitching.
So if I took Aaron Judge,
Yeah,
it would
the
be
Yankees
like,
were like, yeah,
the
we'll go ahead and
hope that he comes back.
Yes, it's exactly where he's at right now.
Yordan Alvarez.
That's yeah. Oh, I almost said
Controversial.
Yeah.
So it's good.
He's the most ethical Astro.
Yeah.
He wasn't
He
on
is.
that 2017 team.
That's true. It's like you want to hate him, and he's dealt you one of the worst playoff memories ever, but can't. Wasn't part of the cheating scandal. 866-979-3776. I don't know what my answer would be. There's a lot of great choices, but I'm also doing this lineup shuffling of like, well, ideally it could be a DH, so you don't have to think too much about where to move guys. Yeah, someone said Pete Crow Armstrong. That's who I thought for a minute, and then I was like, well, I guess you could bump Julio to corner. Yeah.
You know what they call Pete Crow Armstrong if he says something he regrets? Eat Crow Armstrong.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
I tried really hard not to laugh at that one. I was like stopping myself. I'm still laughing at the Brock looking at the play sheet and needing readers.
Glasses at his nose.
Something about that just killed me because it was I could see it. I could see it happening of Brock doing the kind of like, now what
Squinting
does
his
this,
eyes.
And what does this say? Okay, I had that wrong. 866-979-3776. Bump, what's your favorite golf course in Pierce County?
Pierce. Man. You know what?
Or just south
You know
side.
what?
It's probably Chambers, right?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I was going to try to make good with home course again, but nah, it's Chambers. Yeah.
Bobby Witt Jr. was an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said Cal last year. Yeah,
Sure,
that'd be pretty sweet.
They'd be up in the division by like 30 games right now.
I think about that not all the time, but I have routinely thought, like, this division is so objectively awful. You could be up. I mean, you could drop multiple games and just go, it is what it is. I mean, we were talking with Mike Vorel earlier, the fact that they're very much alive and it's not just this feel good, like, you never know what could happen. It's like no, they have like a 35% shot to still make the playoffs and win the division.
Yeah.
It's a very real possibility.
It's a real thing.
Yeah. 866-979-3776. What I need to know with Betty White and now Dolly Parton, R.I.P., gone. Who's America's next treasure? So sad. Yeah, Dolly Parton was a treasure.
Sandra
Like
Bullock.
Tom Hanks.
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock's a good answer. Just someone we're like universally loved by people.
Yeah.
And just a good person. Seems like a very good person. I don't know.
Andrew, it's
All
fine.
news is sad. They wanted you to know that the most underrated golf course is Fort Lewis.
I've heard. You know what? Someone just told me about that. Actually,
Is that open to regular people though?
I don't think so. I think you got to be.
You got to enlist. Are you thinking about enlisting, Bump?
No, my dad's in the military or was in the military, so I probably
You got to
probably
enlist
get
to be
on.
able to play it.
Where's Port Ludlow?
I don't know.
That's like on the peninsula.
North?
Northwest of here.
I keep hearing about
So
that
like
one,
on
too.
the, it's not necessarily the panhandle of Washington, but it's on the other side of the Puget Sound.
There are so many places in Washington. I was born and raised here, and people will be like, "Where's this?" And I'll be like, "I wish I could tell you." I know it's in the state, but I couldn't tell you much more. Someone said, all time, I guess Ted Williams. Yeah, I'll take that average.
253 says Fort Lewis is open to the public.
That's cool.
Okay.
All right, we'll check it out. It's a mob, but I guess if I can go to Chambers, I can go there.
Someone said Mick Jagger is America's sweetheart, and I
He's
don't know
not
that
American.
He's
British.
Oh, well, no, they didn't say America's sweetheart. That was me saying it, but they're asking like the darling of, you know what I'm saying.
Well, I would say like in terms of celebrities where it would be like
it's like iconic.
Maybe like Paul McCartney. That would be a pretty big passing in the music world. Like I can't think of anybody that's out there that's like, I hate Paul McCartney.
Yeah, that's true.
Except for Matt.
Matt, did you miss being on the board with us, by the way? You've been gone.
No, stop. I can guarantee I have more love for the Beatles than any of you three people.
It's true.
Stop that
that's
slander. How dare you?
Probably true, but we don't know for sure that it's true. You haven't asked Bump at all what he thinks about the Beatles.
I like the Beats, not the Beatles.
Oh,
Look them
from
up.
Doug?
Look them up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Aye-oo,
Killer tofu. That just, I almost said
I eat
Lyman
my
and Bob
sugar
next.
cereal.
They're not. They're definitely not. All Mariners from 1 to 2 with the dugout. We're getting it started with Shannon Drayer next.
A breaker, preparing for incoming. And Lord mercy, the big dumper's been waiting a Smoky Mountain minute for this payload. Over.
Gone! His first 3-homer game of his career.
This is where you hear every
Into the lower deck and right. What a night for the big dumper.
on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal Raleigh, a monster night.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
Anybody can promise you a good deal. What matters is who's making the promise. At every Lee Johnson dealership, we'll work hard to get you the best deal we can.
The LJ Way. Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Fall Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, August 29th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles, many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit luckyoldcar.com for a list and pictures of auction vehicles, or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
Packed team buses, light rail and ferries. There are different routes to game day, but the destination is always the same. This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Seahawks.com today.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, to get 30, to get 20, 20, 20, to get 20, 20, to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month. Sold!
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
On BritBox, your next hidden gem is right around the corner.
If you're going to be bold, here is the place to do it.
Get ready for Britain's most anticipated series, streaming exclusively on BritBox. Catch new seasons of favourites, including Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
You want someone to get murdered?
And the eagerly awaited new adaptation of Agatha Christie's iconic detective duo, Tommy and Tuppence.
Do you think we're actually really good at this?
Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Watch with a free trial.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners pummeled the Phillies in yesterday's series opener thanks to 5 home runs from Seattle, including 3 from Cal Raleigh, who became the first Mariner ever to hit 3 in a game at T-Mobile Park and the first since Edgar to hit 3 at home. George Kirby gets the start for Game 2 tonight at 6:40 p.m. Pre-game show starts at 5:30 right here on Seattle Sports. The Big Ten plans to pass a rule today that will stop NFL players who have NCAA eligibility from returning to college teams, per ESPN. The first player to do so went to the SEC. Tight end Daquan Wright signed back with LSU after being waived by the Browns.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This is The Dugout, taking you inside your Seattle Mariners.
Swing and a miss, and he got him with a slider.
Presented by Top Fitness.
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Swinging a shot over the bag at first, fair ball. The Mariners win it. Here comes Leo Rivas to score. Cal Raleigh with a walk-off single.
Time to grab a seat and talk Mariners baseball in The Dugout.
Mariners insider Shannon Drayer joining us now to get the dugout started. Shannon, how's it going?
It's going.
It's certainly going for the Mariners. Let me tell you what, despite in a week where they've had 2 really gutting losses, this team has otherwise played some pretty good baseball. Dan Wilson pointing that out last night. Fitting, because it also came after a game in which they saw 5 home runs, 3 of them from Cal Raleigh. I'm obviously going to start with Cal, who was the story after this one. And I will admit, last time we talked to you, I said, Cal seems kind of sad. And you said, I don't know. I think he's kind of accepted where he is, and he's just moving forward. And Shannon, by golly, you were right. Tell me a bit about what you saw from him in last night's game and potentially what you've seen over the last several days for him.
Yeah, I think that there's been a really good progression that has been going on with him, both on the baseball side and just mentally dealing with what he has been going through now for 5 months. I mean, if you step back and you think about it, it's one thing to be from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, and it's another thing to be in a position where you're the leader of that team. You have to lead. It's hard to lead from that position. And really not shy away or back away from any of the media or talking about it or anything. So I've just been so impressed with how he has been able to handle that. And then on the hitting side, that same patience is there. You know, we talked to him on the field coming off the field last night and then again in the interview room, and he was talking about hope and belief and optimism and bringing that every day. And Stacy, I need to talk to him more about that because there's no way I could bring that kind of hope, belief, and optimism for 5 months. I mean, there would be bad days. There would be definite bad days. And I'm like, okay, he's unlocked some secrets here. He has been able to deal with this.
There are so many times you talk to athletes and you're like, man, we really think fundamentally differently about things. This is shocking.
We really do. And, I mean, you know, he simplifies it as, you know, turn the page. And also when he just finally was able to accept where he was, what can I do, even in this state right now, to help this team? And I think that what we have seen probably over the last, since the start of August, even actually since he came back from the IL, but it was a curious thing. He was taking his walks. And I think at first there wasn't a lot that went into it. I think more recently there has been some adjustment that has been made that has allowed him to see the ball longer, and he committed to that. And, you know, in his mind, that was something, okay, I'm contributing at the plate. And one of the things that he has said to me before, it's not the pop-up that gets me, and sometimes it's not even the strikeout. It's the ball that you miss that you know you can do damage on. And so I think that has helped him. The more pitches that he has seen, A, you know, he's got a better idea. He's seeing things better. But B, he's gotten into better counts and earned some better pitches to hit. And I think that we are starting to see him, that kind of pay off for him. He's, you know, 3 home run night. They kind of fall out of the sky sometimes, but they, you know, could not be more rare. He's the first Mariner to do it in that ballpark. And of course it would be Cal Raleigh, even in the worst offensive year that he's having. But I do think that there's been a lot of process with it. And one of the things that I go back to and I smile a little bit about was when we were checking out of the hotel on getaway day in Houston, Edgar Martinez was behind me in line to check out. And I turned to Edgar because we have a pick to click segment in every pregame show. And I don't like picking. And I had to pick because I was doing color that day and it was just me and Gary. And so I asked Edgar, hey, who do you like today? And he thought about it and he thought about it and he said, Cal. And then last night we heard Cal talking about some Edgar things as well in his post-game press conference. And you know that the work's been going on, and I'm going to dive in a little bit more specifically in what he's been doing. But I think that's pretty cool that since that time, you know, we have seen some things from him, and Edgar knows what he has been doing behind the scenes. So hopefully this is something that, you know, continues along the path that it seems to have been building up to.
Hey, Shannon, it was nice to see, obviously, Cal do his thing, Julio. But it was I love watching Logan really gut out, 100 pitches through 5. What'd you make of his performance?
I make that he was up against a tough lineup there, and that is what he had to do to get through 5. It was interesting to watch what he was doing because he was really mixing it up early on. This wasn't going to be out of the gates, one of those outings where he was just going to dominate with the fastball. And when you look at the top of that lineup, even through the middle, you know, when I sat down to start the pregame show and was taking a good look at that, it's just like, wow. You know, you start with Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper isn't too far behind. You know, Trey Turner can do some things. And then there's Luis Arraez after you've gone through all of that in the cleanup spot to just annoy you and put pitches on you and end up on base. It's a tough lineup, and he worked his way through it. And, you know, they were in a good spot in that the leverage arms in the pen were fresh. They were not needed in the 22-0 loss. The 19-3. Get these mixed up.
Oh no.
Well, the good news is they're 2-0 after they give up 19 or more runs in a game. Let's look at it that way.
You don't want to run into them after they give up 19. I'll tell you that.
Oh, no.
They'll pummel you.
I think that is known by now. But, the bullpen was actually in good shape, except for Ferrer, obviously, was down. So, and it should be in good shape today and potentially tomorrow as well. So, Logan did what he needed to do, and I think that he's comfortable in that. He wants to go out and dominate every time. Sometimes that's not going to happen. Sometimes it's going to be let's limit the damage as much as we can with one of the toughest lineups in baseball, and he certainly did that. And then sit back and watch the offense.
You got quite a few injury updates from Justin Hollander the other day. The one that I saw for sure was Brandon Donovan, obviously 7-day concussion IL, would be eligible to come back for this series upcoming against Toronto on the road. What else do we need to know about what Justin said when it comes to some of these other guys?
Yeah, one that just snuck in there, and we could see as soon as today, J.P. Crawford could be activated today.
Oh, wow.
So that was a big one right there. We saw him on the field quite a bit. Of course, he came up with the Phillies. His cousin is on that team. Dee Gordon was on the field as well, talking to Ichiro. They were all talking. It was just really kind of a party down on the field before the game. Kind of just the good vibes, catching up with people, and that was great to see out there. But then went back and listened to Justin. He just kind of snuck that in there. As JP is not here for all those reunions, it was to go through a workout and get evaluated for potential activation today. We'll see what happens there. He, of course, has quietly been on a rehab assignment with Tacoma. Things have gone well, and we will see if he will be added back today. Brian Wu looks like could be good to go tomorrow. We'll find out more about that, but he checked out of his bullpen just fine on Sunday and is all but inked into tomorrow. So we'll find out more when we get to the park if that is for sure at this point, but that is certainly good news as well. Matt Brash threw a bullpen on Sunday. He's going to throw another bullpen. They're taking him bullpen to bullpen, but the hope is it sounds like early in September he could be ready, and you're taking anything you can from him. And why not build him up as much as you possibly can? You look at August right now, guys, and we said it was going to be such a gauntlet, and it really is. It was a very, very tough schedule this month. And with the win last night, they're 10-11 in the month. And for everything that's happened, and as down as they have been this year against the competition that they have had, in this month, you just wanted to be able to kind of break even, hold where you were in the standings, do not fall back at all. They picked up a game, and they're putting up a somewhat respectable record for where they're at, and perhaps most importantly, getting players back and doing things offensively and getting it going in the right direction, and that appears to include the injury list.
Hey, I know Naylor came back into the game, but what exactly happened? Did he hit his head on the second baseman's leg? What happened there?
We didn't really get that. There was so much going on that I don't think we heard much about that after the game. I am anxious to talk a little bit to him about that because that looked pretty horrific. It looked like it could have been a little bit of head or even neck that was involved in that, but he was able to walk off the field and get back in there, and so I think that's the most important thing.
All right, Shannon, quickly before we let you go, as we get ready to wrap up here, and I'll sidebar and say I thought the same thing. I was worried. It's like, oh my God, is this like a stinger situation? Like he looked like he was kind of like hunched over there just a little bit. Tell us a bit about the matchup that we're going to see today, especially with what we're watching for from Kirby.
Yeah, George Kirby has had a bit of a rough go of it of late, but, the stuff is there. It's been more command with him, and it's been more, I think, kind of doing what, especially against some of the better lineups that they have faced, doing what Logan Gilbert did, and just if they're going to grind out the at-bat and match them pitch for pitch and be there for that. And he is looking for, there's been a lot of frustration with where he has been of late, so you just want him to go out and be able to make some pitches early, get a good feel on the mound at home, which is a place where he is very, very comfortable. And again, know that he does have some good bullpen behind him. And I think some runs early would greatly benefit him as well. It's, the stuff has been there. He's been strong. It's a matter of, at this point, putting it together. And it's a tough lineup to do it against. But He's not too separated from putting some zeros up, and that is important to him. So you look for him to get off to a good start. That might be one of the biggest things for him in tonight's game. On the other side, you're going to run into Aaron Nola, who has had his ups and downs this season. And, Zach Wheeler came in last night coming off of 3 shaky outings, but he's still Wheeler. You know that he has put up the track record that he has for the better part of 6 years right now. And so you never take for granted or think that a pitcher of that caliber is down just because they've had a few bad outings. It goes both ways. They're probably looking at George Kirby the same way. The one factor that's a little bit different is they probably have a very good scouting report on Aaron Nolan with Austin Nola as the bullpen coach of the Mariners. He kind of knows him a little bit. He's caught him 1 or 2 times. So I think this could be a fun matchup to watch.
Pre-game show starts at 5:30 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports. She is Mariners insider Shannon Drayer. Thanks, Shannon.
Thanks, Shannon.
You got it, guys.
Latest from Jeff Passan coming your way next.
Why are we walking? Let's go!
The defending champs are in the home stretch of training camp.
It's filling in the little gaps that really brings this team together.
Stay plugged into the very latest moves, news, and everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
I want to see the competition with Diggs here.
And the most important Seahawks conversations.
This Montori Foster, he'll play special teams. He's an absolute dog.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
No matter the time of year, working out at home is the best. Brock Hewart here, and allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do a complete fitness room design. And everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love their stuff. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have flooring and weights that go right in your home gym. Locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Progressive knows when it's 3 a.m. and you can't sleep, your mind starts racing, asking the big questions.
Why doesn't glue stick to the inside of the bottle? How come you never see baby pigeons? Am I breathing weird right now, or have I always breathed like this?
Progressive can't help with those questions. But if the question keeping you up at night is about your insurance, rest assured, we're here online when you need us, 24/7, 365.
But seriously, where are all the baby pigeons?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back.
On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month finance agreement.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Puget Sound, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Back to the dugout on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
The latest from Jeff Passan, who was on with Brock and Salk this morning. I got some stuff on what he had to say about Kate Anderson, but I'm going to put it on the back burner for just right now because I want to start with last night's game in a very weird playoff race in the AL West. First, he was asked about Cal's 3-home run game.
I mean, it certainly doesn't hurt. You know, I'm not going to say the Mariners are in the position right now because of Cal Raleigh specifically, but his lack of contribution this year has been a defining part of this team. And I just, even going back to the Astros series a few series ago, guys, like they finished that thing out strong and then they get mollywalked by the Brewers 22-0. And then, you know, they play reasonably well against the Brewers for the rest of the series. They win the first 2 games of the Cubs series, both one-run games. And then another just complete floor wiping, 19-2, 2 within the same week. It's not ideal, and I think it speaks to the fact that, you know, they're still searching.
Hear me out, Bump. I think we need to retire the idea of a turning point for the Mariners this season where they miraculously go on a 14-game win streak, or like last year when like 17 of 19 or whatever it is. That's what had to work for them last year. I don't think you need 86 wins to take the AL West this year. And B, I just don't think that's what we're going to see. I think the story for this team, not just this year, but for the rest of the season, is going to be get through today. Can you get through tomorrow? Get through today, fight to tomorrow. It's just going to be a constant battle. I don't know if there's a super hot streak or a turning point. It's just going to be, can you outfight and outlast the other 2 teams?
We don't know. There could be. You know, as soon as you put 2 games together, then I perk up a little bit and I'm saying, all right, maybe they're on to something. But they've gone 2 games, then an L. 1 game, L. 1 game, L. 2 games, L. Haven't been able to really crack the code. So, no, we don't know. But what we do know that there's enough talent on paper to keep that as a possibility. Like they could go on this run. Or, like you said, just do enough. Sometimes it's just you stay afloat and you let everyone else around you sink. And that's what we're hoping. I would love some help from the Astros, love some help from the Rangers. I would also like to control our own destiny. But if I'm looking at just this team this year, they haven't really been able to control their own destiny. They had, 7-game win streak that one time and Cal was out? 8-game win streak, 8-game win streak and Cal was out. So, yeah, it's I don't think it's likely, but it's still possible.
And they might not need to rattle off 15, 16 wins in a row to take the division. Now, there's still 3 games back. You still need the Astros or Rangers to slip a little bit here. And you need to keep winning. But here's what Jeff thinks wins the division.
I think they need to go 19-11. I think they need to win 82. Let's put it this way, though. And, guys, we have talked about this in recent weeks. Once they get past the Phillies and the Jays and the Red Sox. A's for 4. Rangers, who you might be up tied at first place with at that point, potentially, for 3. A's for 3. Angels for 3. Rockies for 3. Astros for 2. Angels for 4. The last month of the season, like it's, last 25 days of the season, the Mariners have the easiest schedule in baseball.
Now, in any other year, and certainly in previous iterations of the AL West when Houston was phenomenal, you would look at last night's game and you go, yeah, cool, that's fun, but you can afford like 7 losses before you're out of it. And you would sit with that and you would feel bad because you'd know that there's absolutely no way they can only lose 7 more games for the rest of the season, for the next 5 weeks. But that's not the reality this year. And this isn't me saying, oh, they can afford 12 losses or 11. This is me saying this is going to be one of the worst division winner records we've seen. And you can certainly judge it. You can roll your eyes. You can think it's silly. Or you can go, well, cool. Then the playoff race is still very much alive.
Yeah. I like the playoff race being still alive, honestly. I think that's the way you got it. No, you don't have to look at it that way. I hate telling people how to watch their team or how to digest whatever it is that they're seeing. But games like yesterday is just a little reminder. It's that notification. Like when I forget I have these ESPN and CW Zoom meetings, I get the little notification at the top. Boom. Oh, yeah. Bam. Make sure I'm there at 3 o'clock. That's what that was. That 92's little notification. It's possible. Hey, don't forget, they're still in this thing. Remember, look what they're doing. So that's the way that I choose to look at it. And until I'm never the dude just to give up, right? Like I played in this pickleball tournament a few weeks ago, getting whooped by Cliff Averill and the pro that he brought. Cliff, I'm on to you, to play. And went down swinging. Giving up is not in me.
Yeah.
So I start weighing the odds, though, and saying, oh, well, they're up 7-0 in this pickleball game. We're going to 11. We're going to have to go on a heck of a run to make this thing happen. That's kind of the way I look at this. They're down like 3. You know, it's 8 to 5, and they're down 3. They got 3 more points to go. Just keep playing.
What or who is the X factor down the stretch? I'll ask you that question. I'll ask myself and listeners that question. This was Jeff Passan's answer.
I think it's probably Cal, right? And you know what? I might not have said that if he hadn't hit 3 home runs last night, because the notion of this being a year that Cal can rescue has not been part of my calculus. I just figured this was a lost year, and the winter was going to be an imperative one for him, and he was going to start 2027 whenever 2027 does start, with the idea that maybe he's not 60 homer Cal Raleigh, but he is most certainly not 2026 Cal Raleigh either. So knowing that there's still something there, that there's still potential and possibility to show us more of a 2025 version than we've seen, I think it's on Cal. But I also, Brock, I want to make sure to say this. I think Cal Raleigh can have a bad September and the Mariners still can win.
Now, there's 2 interesting things to take from that. 1, that Jeff's answer is still Cal Raleigh, and 2, that they have the single easiest schedule in baseball, and that they have, at times, some contributions from other people. Like they've gotten here, they're still eligible with Cal Raleigh having the worst season of his career. But I'm going to ask you the same question. Who's the X factor for the Mariners down the stretch?
It should be Cal. But I'm going to go Julio. I think if Julio can be that spark, then it takes pressure off of Cal, which will allow Cal to swing freely and be his thing. But I don't even think he's an X factor. He's just a factor. There's like 4 factors on this team that you need to be true. Cal, Josh, Randy, and Julio. You start there, then anything else you get from anyone else is extra. I don't want to say, oh, we need Cole Young to be hot. Or we need whoever at the bottom of the lineup. JP's back. We need him. No, there's no X factors. The factors need to be factors.
Yeah.
The 4 that we depend on need to go, and everyone else can just contribute to the group project.
Yeah, I feel like if Cal turns into 2024 Cal for the last month of the season, I think this team's in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's your best bet is for a team that hasn't been slugging to have their slugger hit bombs. Great. Drive-in runs. That's exactly what you need. But if I'm not choosing that, I think there are, like you, some fun answers. Like, I don't know. I mean, if you can get Matt Brash back and get a leverage arm in your bullpen, that solves some real problems for how, you've been able to manage games here. I think Brennan Donovan, big asterisk, if healthy, could also be a big X factor for this team. Yeah. It was getting to the point in that Milwaukee series when the lineup turned over, I'd go like, he's going to drive someone in. This is going to work. Like, it's just going to happen. So, the latest with Jeff Passan on the Brock and Salk podcast. They also talked about Kate Anderson's debut. Really good stuff there. We are going to turn the page, staying with the Mariners, but instead talking back-to-back with 2 of our favorite people. Alex Mayer is going to join us at 1:45. Coming up next, it's Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill.
A breaker preparing for incoming. And Lord mercy, the big dumper's been waiting a Smoky Mountain minute for this payload. Over.
Gone! His first 3-homer game of his career.
This is where you hear every
Into the lower deck and right. What a night for the big dumper.
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal Raleigh, a monster night.
What if I told you a local credit union is giving members up to $30 per month just to make everyday purchases? Dave Wyman here, and when I heard about the offer from Harborstone Credit Union, I said, sign me up. And that's what I did at harborstone.com/cash. You know, I'm not a tech-savvy guy, but opening a checking account was easy enough for me to figure out. I got my PNW Cashback checking account for free, no fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. My wife loves it when I get cash back on gas, groceries, coffee, travel, and lunch. All categories count towards your cash back. You can even tap to pay. If you live, work, or worship in the state of Washington, sign up for a membership with Harborstone Credit Union and get the PNW Cashback free checking account. Open your free account online like I did at harborstone.com/cash or visit one of their 29 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
This is it. These are the nights. The ones where you laugh until you can't anymore. And smile until your head hits the pillow. Where everything feels just right. Because it is. Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Must be 21 and over. Please gamble responsibly.
When you order a ride from a rideshare company, do you know what you're getting? Big rideshare companies have been caught failing to protect passengers from dangerous drivers and not supporting drivers and passengers after an accident, all to protect their profits. That's why if you've been injured in a rideshare vehicle, you need Davis Law Group to protect you. Their in-house team of investigators and legal staff has a successful track record of taking on rideshare companies, and they've won millions. Visit DavisLawGroupSeattle.com.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
There's a sink at the brink and a drain that's a pain.
DayandNight.net. Slow drain? Backed up toilet? Call Day and Night to save $100 off any drain cleaning.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. From a slow drain to a major backup, no drain is too big or too small. Whether we're your first choice or smart second opinion, I guarantee our experts will solve any drain problem, day or night.
Now get $100 off any drain cleaning. DayandNight.net.
For more than a century, champions have come to Ellensburg to test their grit in one of the Northwest's greatest sporting traditions. This year, Seattle sports fans have one more chance to experience it live. A full Thursday night performance with the same heart-pounding action, legendary athletes, and famous silver bucking shoots just one night earlier. Make the trip across the mountains Thursday, September 3rd at 5:45 p.m. and be there as a new chapter of Ellensburg rodeo history begins. The West isn't history, it's happening now.
Back to the dugout on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
All Mariners 1-2, joined now by Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill. Gary, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you? It's great to see you.
It's great to see you, and it was great to see a great version of Cal last night. Do I expect him to hit 3 home runs again tonight? Yes, and maybe that's unfair. No, it was nice to see a swing that looked good and kind of a familiar sight. We were debating earlier that, like, oh, is he back? Might be a waste of time because it's just hard to tell this early. I will say this. Hard hit balls, some productive at-bats lately, some more walks. I think had last night been on its own, you would just look at it and think it's flukish. But it had been following what I thought were some improvements. What do you think, Gary?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think there's been some good things leading up to this, and it's been a great homestand, 4 home runs, an on-base percentage of 500. But you're right, because when I think about his season, at the plate. The biggest difference to me when you kind of dive into underneath what's kind of happened is the chase rate is up. And when you look at the numbers, if you make contact outside the zone, it's just so much harder to impact the baseball. The numbers just aren't there when you swing outside the zone and make contact. And he's taken more pitches in the zone. So I think he's passed up some chances to do damage. And it feels like when you hear hitters talk about that, it feels like you hear in between, right? That's what it sounds like. And for a lot of the season, it seems like Cal has been in between. And so we've seen a different Cal the last few days. And as we know, I've said this all season, I don't think the Mariners can get where they want to go without Cal's bat. And we all know he is a massive difference maker. It was optimal last night with 3 home runs. But when you look at a month and change left in the season, if that's the kind of version, if this version of Cal is what we're going to see, that's an impact bat for the Mariners down the stretch.
Was there anything like mechanically that you saw with Cal? Was it, I don't know, what was your expert baseball lens telling you?
It's funny because a lot of the mechanical stuff is the same. If you dive into bat path, things like that, it's all similar last year. I really think it comes down to just swing decisions more than anything. That's where I think it lies. It's just more chase, letting pitches over the plate go. The good thing is in baseball that tends to be pretty sticky when you're good at that. And Cal's been good at that over time. So that can snap back and he can get back to what he was in terms of swinging at the right pitches most of the time and doing damage. Now, 60 home runs, that's impossible. That's a ridiculous season, but can he get back to the power guy, the masher that gets on base with a good on base percentage? Yeah, I think that could absolutely happen again.
Stellar to see Logan last night. I know that he had some moments where I'm sure he would have liked to go longer in the game. I'm sure he would have liked to not have some of those ABs be such battles. I personally thought it was cool, him against Luis Ariz, but I'm sure Logan was frustrated that it took 9 or 10 pitches. Still, it was fun baseball, unless you're a Phillies fan. And I think that Logan, after having an uneven start to the season, has almost cemented himself as the guy to stop the floodgates into I'm using that metaphor wrong, and to stop the bleeding with this team, which has been really cool to see. I start have a feeling of confidence when he's out there if they're in a stretch of losing or whatever. Tell me a bit about how you've seen him, I don't want to say grow this year, but how you've seen that change, because this isn't how we were talking about Logan per se, late last year, early this season.
Yeah, and now it's been a nice long stretch. You go back towards the end of May, he's had one of the best ERAs in baseball. It's about 2.5. He's been really good, and I think that's right. He's the guy at the top of the rotation. He's the guy that you want. If you lose a game by 19, he's the one you want the next day to hand the ball to. He's the one in a playoff series. I don't think there's any question. If you had a pick, who would you hand the ball to? It'd be Logan Gilbert. He has cemented himself at the top of the rotation. And it's not by accident. I think one of the biggest things that we've seen is we've seen the velo uptick. And so he's back to 98, sometimes 99 with the fastball. And that velo's been there for a while. He credits all the work he's done with the strength staff to get that velo to where it is right now. But it's made a huge difference because if you're a hitter, you've got to deal with that velo. You've got the splitter, the slider, all the other stuff that you're trying to figure out while he's pitching, and it's impossible. Also, when he's throwing, he's like on you by the time. Yeah. I mean, it's 98, 99, but then his hand is right in front of you as he lets go the pitch. But he's in a great place right now for the Mariners. He's been enormous for them in this stretch. And as much as we've talked about the offense, and the offense has been such a big topic of conversation for obvious reasons, they need to be consistent in the rotation in this final month if they're going to overtake the Rangers and the Astros. There's been a lot of blowups, especially on the road. They've got to be more consistent, and Logan has been consistent. He's been great.
Josh Naylor seems like he put together a decent game yesterday. Didn't drive any runs in, but got on base. We were talking about Stacey asked me who's the X factor, and I said no X factors. The factors need to be factors, and then you sprinkle everyone else in. When you look at just the big four, I call them just Cal, Julio, Randy, and Josh. Minus Cal, who's the most important one out of those guys? I mean, I felt mine was Julio because naturally he's the more talented one, but maybe you have a different perspective.
No, I think that's right. And I think you're right to look at it that way. The guys have to be guys. That's what has to happen offensively. Your stars have to be stars. And, hopefully this is a sign of things to come with Cal. And hopefully last night is a sign of things to come with Julio because it's been a rough homestand for him lately, a rough patch for him. So hopefully he can get back to hitting the ball hard and getting going because they have a lot of good things surrounding those guys going. Like Cole Young has been steady all year. Dom has done his thing. They have a lot of other things going well. And it's exciting if you think about if you can get those guys going all at the same time, what it could look like. Hopefully they can get Donovan back too at the minimum amount of time. It's so unfortunate what happened because I thought he was a massive difference maker with him at the top. I thought he really got the whole thing ignited with what he was doing at the top of the lineup. He was just on base consistently all the time, starting in the Brewers series, really. So hopefully they can get him back too, because I think if you're talking about who can be X factors on the team, I think he is certainly one. They just look different when he is healthy and hitting at the top.
Yeah, I think he was hitting like 500 in that Brewers series.
Yeah.
Just absolutely insane. It feels like Saturday, and certainly leading into the weekend, the single biggest story was Cade Anderson. You took a series from the Cubs. You had the walk-off with Randy. You had the horrible loss. Then you had the win last night with 3 home runs from Cal. And I'm like, oh, my God, we haven't asked Gary at all about Cade Anderson. I can't believe that it's my last question for you when it was like the single biggest story heading into the weekend. So I wanted to ask not just what you made of his debut, but whether you would also consider, were you the folks in charge, doing the piggyback and kind of being aware of Cade as a rookie and a pitch limit he's comfortable with?
Yeah, you put your finger on something really important, I think, when you think about where Cade has been this season, because, he hasn't thrown over 80 pitches and he's basically thrown once a week. So I think you have to really think about, with him in the rotation, what it means in a 5-man rotation if you don't have off days, what that is going to look like. So I think there are some questions there. I think what helps the Mariners now a lot is we are 5 days away from September. I think right now adding an extra arm is going to be massive for the Mariners because when September hits, they can add another arm, another position player. I think especially how things lay out, whether they go 5-man or 6-man or some sort of piggyback, I think that extra arm is going to be a massive add for the Mariners. I think that's really going to help. But I think overall, it's very encouraging what we saw from Cade Anderson on Saturday. That was not an easy draw. The Cubs have been red hot. They have a lot of firepower. It's funny to think the first batter he faced was PCA, who is probably going to win the MVP in the National League. And you think about those first 5 innings, 5 innings of 1-run ball against the Cubs. I think that was best case scenario. I really do. I think he was excellent, and you couldn't have asked for any more. So I'm excited to see what this looks like. And kind of bigger picture, too, I think what gives you hope about this stretch for the Mariners, it's been a very difficult stretch schedule-wise. These have been a lot of good teams they're facing at the same time. And I think we've seen a lot of encouraging things in this stretch. There's been some ugly games, obviously, but 7-4 overall in the past 11 games. If they can play at this level and the way the September schedule looks, 7 against the Angels, 7 against the A's, the Rockies, big series against Texas and Houston as well. If the Mariners can get to September in striking distance, playing well, I think you like their chances. Even with everything we've seen this year.
It's crazy to say, and it's not like Bump and I were talking earlier. It's not like some silver lining, like, yeah, guys, anything can happen. You laugh in part because you go, oh my God, this is actually a fairly decent chance that it does. So Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill, kind enough to join us for the Dugout. Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
Yeah, anytime. See you soon.
Diving into the numbers from the last several games of the Mariners with Mariners stats and information's Alex Mayer next.
A breaker preparing for incoming. And Lord mercy, the big dumper's been waiting a Smoky Mountain minute for this payload. Over.
Go!
where you hear every
Into the lower deck and right. What a night for the big dumper.
on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal Raleigh, a monster night.
No matter the time of year, working out at home is the best. Brock Heward here, and allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do a complete fitness room design. And everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love their stuff. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have flooring and weights that go right in your home gym. Locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
We'll work hard to get you the best deal we can, and I know you've heard that before. But when that promise comes from Lee Johnson Dealerships, you can count on it.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, all beds are on sale during our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe for a limited time, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
At Progressive, we know making a difference starts with making things happen. That's why we're partnering with organizations in your community to make change happen. By helping veterans get the reliable transportation they need, helping small businesses with everyday challenges, and providing aspiring homeowners with the educational resources to help them get into their first home. It's just another way we continue to innovate. Because you can't spell progressive without progress. Visit progressive.com/purpose to learn more. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, all beds are on sale during our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe for a limited time, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Back to the dugout on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Mariners stats and information's Alex Mayer joining us now. And Alex, we were just talking about Cal's big 3-home run night with Gary, and we do want to get to that, but I want to start instead with a couple homers that came before this series because we haven't had a chance to talk to you about it yet. First of all, hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. I wanted to start by talking about Randy's leadoff and walk-off home runs. That game, which got the series win for Seattle, was one of the wilder games I can remember. Objectively just fun to watch, and maybe Randy's best game as a Mariner. Tell me a bit about it.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. It was one of the best games I've ever seen for sure, and
the fact that the Mariners pulled it out, largely due to Randy, it made it more amazing because the Mariners had only one win when trailing going into the 9th inning this season, and that came all the way back on that trip in St. Louis. So it had been a while, so it was nice to see the team regroup from that 4-2 deficit and win 5-4, and Randy doing something that PCA had done the week prior, but before that hadn't been done since 1957. So it's baseball in a nutshell.
Yeah, the timing of those two were crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe it.
With the home run going over PCA's head.
Yeah,
it's just poetic.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Sorry, Paul.
It's all good, man. Tell me about Cade. It was nice seeing him go out there and really do well against a team that's been balling as of late. What you make of his performance, and what reaction did you hear from him after the game, after making his debut?
Yeah, I mean, Cade's a stud, first and foremost. He's put together one of the best minor league seasons I think we've ever seen. I talked about it on the show last week, but more than anything, it was cool to see a left-handed starting pitcher out there, guys. I mean, we hadn't seen one since Jonathan Diaz made a spot start last year, but I'll say that barely counts. We really hadn't seen one since Robbie Ray and Marco Gonzalez during 2022 on a regular basis. So it was cool to see Cade, and hopefully he's here to stay. I think he will be, and I'm excited to watch him next few turns.
Can you tell us a bit more about some of his stuff? Because I think there were plenty of Mariners fans that knew everything about his profile and about who he was. Obviously, a fairly high profile with LSU as well. But then I think there were some fans that, you hear, big pitching prospect and you think, oh, so that's Paul Skeens, or like, oh, so that's, and he's got different stuff. So can you tell us a bit about kind of what you knew about him and then what you saw?
No, great point, Stace. I mean, I think what you're getting to is he averages about 94 miles per hour on his fastball, which is a lot different than the average pitcher, especially the average rookie pitcher who comes up now. Like you said, another LSU guy, Paul Skeens, who, came to the big leagues a couple years ago, is throwing like 102, 103. Believe it or not, though, the average left-handed fastball is right around 95 miles per hour in the big leagues. So Cade's just a tick below that, and we talk small versus large sample sizes all the time, and I don't think you can look at one start and necessarily, have a bigger picture of his arsenal from there. But through the four-seam fastball the most, through that 27 times, then the slider, then the changeup, and then the curveball. But all four of his pitches he threw at least 16 times. So I think the pitch mix is what Cade has going for him that worked so well in the minors and should work well in the big leagues.
All right, let's talk about it now. Cal's big day.
Let's do it.
3 bombs. It was ridiculous. I was watching the game, and they put up the graphic in the corner and said, "Oh, last person hit 3 home runs in the game for the Mariners," and gave you all that context. And boom, he hits the bomb. First thing I thought about was, man, that producer has to be hyped right now. Like, yes, got the information in, flash it on the board, and Cal does his thing. Just tell me about that night. I mean, what was it like being there and watching Cal hopefully come out of whatever he's been dealing with?
Yeah, we talk about baseball being poetic. How about a guy who hits 60 home runs, becomes the face of the sport, but never hits 3 homers in a game? And then, he's obviously had the season he's had this year, but is looking to get out of it. And then he hits 3 homers this season. Like, what are the odds of that?
Right.
But over his last 8 games or so, I shouldn't say or so, over his last 8 games, he's hitting 333. Had a couple homers over his previous 7 games going into yesterday. He's been walking a ton. I mean, even since he's been activated off the injured list back in mid-June, he's right around 7th or 8th in walk rate. So while he's swinging at maybe a few more balls than you'd like him to outside the zone, Cal, he's drawing walks at a fantastic clip. So I think that points to him seeing the ball better. And then, the swing. I'm not a swing doctor or anything. I'm not into, like, the mechanics side as much as I am the stats. But the swing looked just like last year, guys, did it not?
Yeah, no, it did. I think that was the most encouraging thing to see, is just like this like classic windmill swing you recognized. Hey, I wanted to ask, speaking of Cal, you're around this organization clearly behind the scenes, and that includes spending a lot of time around these guys. And it's easy for me, not a professional athlete, to project how I would feel and think, oh, God, I would just be feeling awful. I'd feel horrible. This would be so stressful. And then you kind of tell yourself that players think differently, but they're also people. And there are times when, at least to me, it looks like Cal's feeling it and feeling some of that pressure and feeling the frustration. What have you noticed being around him this year compared to being, the highest of highs last year? You were obviously around him both years. And then, and what have you noticed in terms of how he's dealt with some of those struggles and maybe whether a night like last night takes some of that weight off?
Yeah, I think the most consistent thing I've seen with Cal between, 2022 when he burst onto the scene and now is the way he treats people. I think he's been so consistent in the way he goes about his day, whether it's with me, whether it's with the trainers, the strength and conditioning coach, the clubhouse staff, the GM, whoever. So I think his personality has just been remarkably consistent, especially for a guy who, like we said, led the league in homers, RBIs last year, was the face of the sport practically. And he's gone from that year to the season and the struggles that he's had this year. But yeah, like you said, Stace, he's human, and like us all, I think a little bit. Like he's gone through it at times. I think he's definitely worn his emotion and his heart on his sleeve, and you can tell sometimes when he gets into the box, before or after the games, definitely. But I think the most consistent thing about Cal has been the way he's treated everyone around him, and I think that's paid dividends because he's looking to emerge out of this, season that he wasn't expecting.
Tell me about this this pitching matchup today. We got George Kirby, who didn't have the best outing last time we saw him. We got Aaron Nola on the other side. What should we expect?
Yeah, Aaron Nola, younger brother of our bullpen coach, of course, Austin Nola, great guy. But, yeah, George has kind of been a tale of two. The splits, like we've seen with a lot of our starting pitchers this year, it's been kind of interesting. On the road trip, George didn't fare as well as he usually does, even struggling with command at times. Gave up quite a few hits in Milwaukee and Houston, but you look at his last handful of home starts, he's been fantastic. I think in each of his 4 home starts, he's gone at least 5 innings and allowed 2 or fewer runs. Looks like 5 straight quality starts at home. So he's been exceptional at home this year, and just like Brian Wu. So it's been interesting, but I think this is a really good lineup, obviously, and hopefully George, rebounds after the road trip.
With the season and a race to the playoffs still being very much alive for the Mariners, I'm guessing a numbers guy, baseball history buff, you've been doing a lot of digging into like late season surges for teams and MLB history. Any team in particular that kind of you were thinking of? And again, I'm knocking on wood here for any Mariners fans wondering, but I mean, it's something about this season, this race in particular in this division feels unique, but am I wrong?
You're not wrong at all, and I'm so glad you asked this because I've been looking at the 2005 San Diego Padres and I guess moreover the 2005 National League West Division. They won the division at 82-80 that year, and hopefully it's the Mariners. Whether it's the Mariners, Rangers, or Astros, though, they might be flirting with that record. I mean, who's to say what happens between now and then? I think the second we've tried to kind of predict what's happened in this division, then it just gets turned upside down. But yeah, 82-80, Padres won the division that year and lost in the National League Division Series. Then the next year, I want to point out the 2006 St. Louis Cardinals, so 20 years ago, they got into the playoffs, winning their division at 83-78 and won the World Series. So you just never know. Obviously, I think the league as a whole has been more down than people thought. It's not just the Mariners, it's not just the Blue Jays, but just from a league-wide perspective. But then the division race is really exciting with the records, and I'm sure you've already had some AL West, NFC West at times comparisons floating in your head. But we'll see where it goes.
He is Alex Mayer. Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, guys.
This has been The Dugout. Wyman and Bob coming up next.
A breaker preparing for incoming. And Lord mercy, the big dumper's been waiting a Smoky Mountain minute for this payload. Over.
Gone! His first 3-homer game of his career.
This is where you hear every
Into the lower deck and right. What a night for the big dumper.
on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal Raleigh, a monster night.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Puget Sound, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, Our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Need a heavy lift? Levitt Machinery is now your Taylor lift equipment dealer in Washington and Oregon. Engineered for extreme duty durability, Taylors are designed for demanding environments with uptime built into every machine. When the work is tough, Taylor delivers. And now backed by Levitt Machinery in the Pacific Northwest. LevittMachinery.com. Give us a call today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
The Mariners' schedule is packed with big events and divisional matchups down the home stretch. Be at T-Mobile Park as Julio and the Mariners take on the A's September 3rd through the 6th. Featuring Sing-Along Fireworks Night Friday the 4th, presented by T-Mobile. And Brian Wu Bobblehead Night Saturday the 5th, thanks to Lexus. Then the Rangers visit from September 8th through the 10th, and it's a 3-day Andres Munoz Funko Pop giveaway. Go to Mariners.com to get your tickets today.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier